Podcast, the podcast where we talk about the soap opera passions. I'm your regular host, Latara, back today with Acacia and Fantasia. You get two. You heard that time, yes?
Yeah, we heard it.
Perfect. Okay, perfect. So Acacia, you were on not just last week or the week before, right?
Last week, yeah. The spawn of Julian.
Yeah. And Fantasia's on for the first time, but y'all, Fantasia, you've probably heard me say her name a time or two on the podcast. Because Fantasia usually comes to all of the watch parties. We have a great time. She's hilarious. We're so happy to have you on today because I've been like, Fantasia's going to come on. And this is a good week for you to be on because I'm going to let everybody know Fantasia loves Beth. She's a Beth fan. And Beth was having a good week, in my opinion. Beth was having a good week this week. So I'm so excited to get into your thoughts on everything. And you as well, Acacia. I'm very excited to have you back. How y'all feeling?
I'm so excited for these episodes.
It was a good week. Oh my God, it was such a great week. I know I say so. I think the writers of Passions knew that things had been getting kind of bad because, like, I think it was maybe last week or the week before where I was like, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder why I watch this show. Like, I was so frustrated, and it was like sometimes I wonder why I even watch this show. But this week reinvigorated me and said, "See, this is why you watch this show. These are the things." So Teresa's in rare form. Beth is in rare form. Kay is doing her thing, but I'm loving it all. I really am. So before we get into the episodes, I want to say a shout out to all the patrons over on Patreon. Thank you to Moonashe, Lisa S, Zach, Sid, Sarana, Randall, Hannah, Camelia, Jeanette, Eric, Jamie, Fantasia, Sean S, Larissa, Maria, Lisa, Jessica, Laura, Karen, Uche, Paige, Casey, Garage, Tom Bergeron, Stephen Winthrop, Daisy, Shane, Kelly C, Taylor Harris Crane, DJ, Kelly M, Rodo, Lisa R, Acacia, Natalie, Andrew, Jekyll Hyde, and MB. Thank you all so much for being patrons. I love you all. We have such a good time. Yeah. So if you're not a patron yet, go over to patreon.com/passionspodcast. Sign up for whatever tier you find most agreeable. Come and join the Discord. Come and join us on the watch parties, and maybe even come and join an episode and host. So if you put in enough time, even on the lower tiers, I'll let you in. On the higher tiers, you get to come in immediately. But if you put in enough time, like Fantasia, she's here, right?
I'm here. Yes.
I love it. I'm so happy to see you. So, all right, let's get into this week. We watched 896 through 900.
We are at 900, y'all.
I cannot believe it. I'm flabbergasted that we watched this much of this show. So since it's Fantasia's first time on the podcast, before we get into the episode, I'm giving her the space to tell us about her passions origin story. So Fantasia, take it away.
Okay, so what passions I guess had been on already. My friend, we were in seventh grade had it been, because she moved her butt back to Baltimore. So she came back for a vacation, and she had me watching the show, right? We were stuck in the house with my little sister. I was at babysit. So she had me watching this show, and it was passionate. And so I remember tidbits like throughout, like I think I came in around the time that Teresa was getting executed. And I was like, what is this mess that you got me watching, right? And so throughout, I guess, whenever it was happening, I jumped back in and out, because, you had to record on VHSs. So my aunt would sometimes accidentally record over my stuff. So I didn't get to see everything the way I wanted to. But that was my origin story. I think I came in probably a little after this because most people were pregnant by then and real good stuff was happening. So That's my origin story.
Okay.
Seventh grade, hopping in and out. I think I stopped watching it once we got to like high school because then I started joining stuff. But I kept up with it. I, remember soap opera digest magazines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I used to go. I ordered those because my mom was really upset too. But I ordered those to keep up with the stories.
Okay. All right. Well, what a lovely story. And I love that you ordered the Soap Opera Digest magazine. See, your mom's like, what the hell? What are you spending money on?
Because, back then they sent you a bill. So it was just like, she had to pay for that.
Oh my God, that is so funny.
Like, it wasn't prepaid. She had to pay for that.
Yeah. I forgot about that. I
Oh
always
my
wanted
God,
to
but
do
she was
those like
thrilled.
CD ones. You remember the ones where it was like, pay 1 penny and get these CDs, but I never did it because my mom was like, that's definitely a scam. Do y'all remember that?
Yeah, it was. Oh, yes.
Yes, I do. My mom used to get the book, and I'm like, I want this one and this one. I want, like Eminem. I want Britney Spears. I want, and I had all the CDs picked out, and my mom was like, absolutely not. No.
Yeah, my mom was like, that's a scam. And I was like, are you sure? It says 1 penny. I don't think they can send scams through the mail. Like,
see, at least y'all were nice enough to ask, because I think I was a good kid, but for the most part, I definitely did that type of stuff. I order stuff, and then like the bill comes later, and my mom like, what is this? Like, no, you have to take this off. Like, she wouldn't tell my dad that I did it because she didn't want me to get in trouble. But like, she had to when my friend, like I said, my friend moved back to Maryland. We didn't have long distance. So we had them little prepaid cards. I ran their phone bill up. She had to automatically, like, she was like, let me just go ahead and pay for it. Because I was like, but I used the card. Lying, was not using the card. I used the card.
I forgot all about long distance. Like, that used to be a thing too. You couldn't call outside of your zip code or area code. And you needed the little phone cards, those global phone cards. Wow.
Damn.
Nostalgic.
Yeah. What a time.
What a time. Girl. What a time. So, all right, we're going to get into the episodes, going to get into passions. Good. What a time this was. Mm-hmm. I had a time. Now, frankly, I did procrastinate. I did not start watching the episodes until last night. And so I was still watching them this morning, but I did get it finished about 20 minutes ago. And yeah, great week. So we're going to start with the Sheridan and Luis, the Shuis stuff this week. And honestly, I didn't plan to start this way, but before we started recording, I started talking about how much I really enjoyed Beth this week, and Acacia and Fantasia both disagreed with me. So I was like, I guess we need to start with Shuis because I need to know what's going on here. All right, so let's get into what's going on. Sheridan and Antonio have gotten married and have gone off to the Cliffside Inn. No, the name doesn't bode well. Off to the Cliffside Inn to check into the honeymoon suite for their honeymoon. Okay. So they get their suite. They get there. They go upstairs. They're in their suite. Sheridan and Antonio share what passes for a tender moment between the two of them on this show. It's like she's uncomfortable. She's stiff, but he's like pawing at her, and he's trying to kiss her, and she's crying. She starts crying, and Antonio stops. And he's like, Sheridan, because of course he's blind, so he can't see that she's crying, but he does feel it, right? And so he says, Sheridan, are you crying? And she goes, oh no, it's nothing. And then he says, oh, I know exactly how you feel. You're overwhelmed because this is the most wonderful day of our lives, the most beautiful day of our lives. No, buddy. No. Boo. Tomato. And so he says, you're just so overwhelmed by us getting married. I feel the same way. This is so beautiful. And we're going to spend the rest of our lives together, however long that is for you, Antonio. Right? Like, Jesus. And so he goes in to like kiss her, and she imagines Luis's face over his. So she imagines she's kissing Louise. And so they kiss. She comes back. She still sees Louise's face. And she goes, I love you. And then she hears Antonio's voice go, I love you too. And she kind of like snaps back into reality. And it's Antonio sitting there with her. And she looks mortified. It was so funny to me. I thought it was hilarious. Yeah. I'm sure there's other people who might find it very like sad for Sheridan.
The acting is superb.
It was so good. Like she was mortified because that he wasn't Louise. Like, get a grip, Sheridan.
Girl.
And so he says, I love you. And then she says, she says, I love you. And then he answers back, I love you too. And that's when she snaps back to reality. Then he's like, how about you go and press play on the tape player? And she's like, we didn't bring any tapes. She's like, there's no music in there. We didn't bring any tapes. He's like, no, go ahead and press it. And she presses it. And it's tango music. Of course it is. It's tango music. And he's like, yeah, I called ahead. I wanted this night to be really special for you. Let me say this. If it wasn't Antonio, I'd be like, this is so cute. Right? Like, but it's Antonio. So I'm like, boo.
The energy is also very boring for your wedding. Like it would, tango or not, like he's, oh, I'm so happy. Are you? like, shouldn't we be like hugging, kissing, touching, like holding hands, skipping off happily? Like, that's so boring.
He is at death's door. Okay, so we got to give him that much. He is at knocking on heaven's door.
He got everything he ever asked for. He got the love of his life is married to him now. He should be more excited than that.
What were we gonna say, Acacia?
He never fails to like remind you that he's on death's door. Like it's constantly. He has some. I'm blind.
Yeah. I know I'm dying. Like, oh gosh, get a hobby, bro. Like, do you have anything else to talk about?
Wait a minute.
Come on.
Can we rewind for 2 seconds? Because what pissed me off, we was watching this on the watch party. What pissed me off was that the guy was standing there waiting for a tip, I guess. And he's like, Sheridan, I really hate that I have to depend, and she had to give him the money, remember?
Mm-hmm.
I really hate that I can't do these things myself. Like, that was like, why? Do you need to even bring that up?
Not to mention it's Sheridan's money anyway.
Right.
Not to mention it's Sheridan's money anyway. Right? Like, do you hate the fact, maybe you should hate the fact that you're such a bum and living off of her.
That's what I thought he meant. Then he talking about blindness. I'm like, oh, you talking about that.
He hates the fact that he can't grab the money out of her purse for himself.
And that's like, you can though. Okay, like maybe you've seen Ray, the movie Ray Charles movie. Like he paid himself.
He used dollars. He don't know. He don't want to get a $100 bill. He don't know how much money he got. He don't know that yet. He's newly
he worked out something for himself.
Ray Charles was a genius. Antonio is an imbecile.
He's newly blind. He's new to his disability.
That is true. So they dance a tango. He does the special Lopez Fitzgerald move, which is just a dip. And Sheridan, of course, thinks back to doing the tango with Louise while they're dancing. So yeah, whatever. Then he again just states to her, this is the happiest night of my life. And he says, from the moment I saw you, I knew we were meant to be together. And what's even more incredible is that, well, you came to see that too. Okay, I'm going to say this. First of all, over Christmas, I watched Dreamgirls with my nieces and nephews for the first time because they're finally kind of old enough to like watch it. So I watched Dreamgirls, and I had forgotten how much I hate Curtis in that movie. But when Antonio was like, from the moment I saw you, it made me think of Curtis's song, When I First Saw You, I said, oh my. I just am picturing Antonio starting to sing that fucking song to her. Because I hate that song. I hate Curtis and I hate Antonio. It's like the trifecta of hate. So yeah, whatever. He's like, whatever. From the moment I saw you, I knew we were meant to be together. And what's even more incredible is that, well, you came to see that too. Sheridan says, how could I not? You've been so wonderful to me, and I've cost you so much, your eyesight, your illness. And he cuts her off. He's like, none of that tonight, okay? Tonight is a celebration of our love, our commitment to each other for the rest of our lives. Now, he said to her something very nice, right? From the moment I saw you, I knew that we were meant together, and you came to see that as well. She says, yeah, I came to see it because I owe you, so I might as well marry you. That's what she said to him.
That's what it is. At least she's being honest.
Yeah, she was like, yeah,
So
I owe
honesty,
you.
you know?
Your eyesight, your illness is my fault, so I guess the least I could do is marry you. But yeah, he cuts her off and is like, oh, it's a celebration of our love and our commitment to each other for the rest of our lives. Well, again, for however long that may be for you, Antonio. He tells her he loves her. She says, I love you too. And he says, we wouldn't be here right now if you didn't. The writing is just so funny to me. Because she says, I love you too, Antonio. And he goes, I know you do. We wouldn't be here right now if you didn't. Womp womp. I mean, like, and he says, but I just want you to know I'm living my dream, Sheridan. This is the happiest night of my life. He's so self-centered. And I know I've been saying that, but like, I'm living my dream. This is the happiest night of my life. Well, then he starts to feel unwell, and Sheridan is like, oh, you need to take your medication. Now, this is the weirdest medication I've ever heard of.
Please explain that.
She says first of all, she says, you need to take your medication. And he's like, oh, tonight of all nights, can't I just skip taking those silly pills? You're dying. Like, no, you can't just skip taking they're not exactly silly pills, Antonio. It's like, can I just skip taking those silly pills just for tonight? And she's like, no, Eve gave me very clear instructions. You have to take one now, and then in 30 minutes exactly, you have to take another pill. So she had to space them out 30 minutes apart. Okay, maybe, I guess. I don't know. I assume they're two different medications, and perhaps one would interact badly with the other, but I do feel like 30 minutes, if that's the case, I feel like 30 minutes isn't necessarily enough time between the pills.
I don't think that's a long time between. I mean, I'm not a doctor like Eve, but I don't know. That doesn't sound right.
It didn't sound right to me.
Sound right to me.
It was just an excuse for what happens next. To Antonio. It was just an excuse for Sheridan to like blame herself for something stupid. So, although it actually isn't that stupid, and we will get there. So she makes him take his first pill, and then she's like, I'm gonna go get some ice for a cold compress for your head. So she goes out to get some ice. Louise and Beth, during this time, are also checking in to the Cliffside Inn. And they get the adjacent honeymoon suite to Sheridan and Antonio. They don't know it. They don't know that they're there, obviously, but they get the adjacent honeymoon suite. Now, Hank calls Louise and says he's worried about him after Sheridan getting married, and Louise confesses to him, actually, I think I'm gonna break up with Beth tonight because, going back to the even though Sheridan has married Antonio, I still don't think I should marry Beth. And it's like, good. I'm glad that he finally has come to that realization. Like, I appreciate that. However, he says to Hank, he's like, so I brought her up here to break up with her to hopefully let her down easier. Maybe it'll let her down. You drove her out of town to break up with her. You drove her out of town to check into a honeymoon suite to break up with her. I'm sorry, Louise. It's not working for me. It's not working for me. Why wouldn't you break up with her in town, like at her house, or at least at a neutral spot, not in a honeymoon suite where today is your wedding day. Y'all were supposed to get married today. Her mother just had a heart attack. You drove her out of town, away from the hospital where her mother is, right? Where anything could be going on with her mom, And look, yes, Beth went along with it. She doesn't give a fuck about Edna. We understand that. But Louise doesn't know that, right? You drove out of town to break up with her? And think about, like, what is that drive back going to be like? Right? Like, what is he gonna break up with her? What was his plan to, like, break up with her and say, like, so you've got the suite for the weekend, don't worry, I'll pay for it, and, like, just figure out your way home? Was he just gonna leave her there by herself? Were they gonna spend the night together in that one hotel room with one bed, and then he was gonna take her back home in the morning? Like, what was the plan? I know I harp on this kind of stuff a lot, but for some reason, the logistics of some of these, like, storylines really irritate me and, like, really, like, make me pause, and I can't let it go because this is a horrible plan.
You know, I got something for you. I have it. Beth is so nice, right? She's not gonna mind that I dump her again. It's not that big a deal. It's not like it's the first time. And I know her mom is sick, so I want to bring her out here. I need to get away from Antonio and Sheridan because they are in harmony, loving on each other on their wedding night. And I swear he already paid for it, so he wasn't gonna let it up. Now, do I think any of that is great? He freaking sucks. He sucks, but I think that was all in his mind. Beth is not gonna mind. It ain't the first time I dumped her.
Yeah,
she's okay.
Yeah,
he don't care.
He was so crappy, I feel like, to her when they first got in. She's like, I can't believe you remember that I love chocolate covered strawberries. And he's like, oh, I didn't. And he was like, oh, I didn't. You know, like,
oh, and we're not gonna drink that champagne. We're not gonna need any of this stuff.
Got up to the room. He was being very cold to her, very standoffish. Of course, Beth overheard the conversation. Oh, because he takes that phone call and says out loud, out of his mouth, yeah, I'm gonna break up with Beth, in the lobby of the hotel where they're checking in, where she's quite literally 2 feet away from him. Like, so of course she overheard the conversation because Beth hears everything. Beth knows all. So yeah, he's being very shitty to her. I'm sorry. From being in the lobby and from the conception of this plan in the beginning, the fact that he knew he was gonna break up with her, he knew he was bringing her up here to break up with her, then to be on the phone with Hank telling him I'm gonna break up with her with an earshot of Beth, and then going up to the room and being so standoffish and being so cold to her. It's like, why would you bring me to a romantic honeymoon suite where you knew there was, well, I guess he said, I didn't know, but like, it's a honeymoon suite. They gave us champagne and chocolate covered strawberries. They put candles around. Why the fuck would you bring me here and then treat me so badly?
Because he already paid for it, Latara.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. I work the hotels. You don't pay until you check out. You don't check out.
He got that good old coupon for that night, and he gotta use it.
He may have had to pay a deposit. Like, he may have put a deposit down and they weren't going to give that back to him, or he may have had to pay a cancellation fee, but they don't charge you till you check out. So actually, he's spending money he doesn't have.
Ain't that what they always do?
He doesn't have to spend.
How many times they went to Bermuda and back and did all that stuff? They got money. They just ain't got it for the house.
Also, I'm gonna say, I don't know when the last time was that Luis went to work. It occurred to me during the whole, like, Sam situation. I was like, wait a minute. Call Luis. When's the last time he's been at work? I haven't seen him at work. I haven't seen him in his uniform in a very long time. Like, truly. So he really needs the shifts. He needs some money because he's paying for this room to break up with this girl, and he doesn't have the money to do this. He doesn't. So where am I? I'm just going off on Louise.
So we're in the hotel.
Yes, in the hotel suite. Louise is acting really gross and cagey, but he eventually musters the courage to begin his breakup speech. So he says, Beth says, you wanted to talk? And he says, yeah, I'm just not sure where to start. You know how I feel about you, right? That you're kind and loyal and caring. And she cuts him off and says, you make me sound like a golden retriever. Well, You keep running around here trying to lick up his scraps that he's dropping behind him. Yeah, you're acting like, actually, you're not even acting like a golden retriever. You're acting like, what's a bad breed of dog? I don't know. I don't know dogs, but you're acting like a stray. She's acting like a stray dog. You know what I mean? Like, she's not even acting like some well taken care of dog. She's just acting like, no, she's not. Like, she's acting like a dog that, like, some people take pity upon when they see them out and about. Got mange, you know what I mean? Limping, one paw.
So that got mange.
That's what
But you know, you said in the last episode, you know, how you were like feeling bad or whatever for her, or like kind of understood why she was the way she was with Edna, because she's just like this wounded child. So it kind of makes sense that she does have this tendency to be like acting like a stray. Yeah. And she's just like this little wounded, abused child who was just getting shit on by everybody in her life, it seems like.
I 100% agree. I just thought it was funny that she just was like, you make me sound like a golden retriever. You act like a dog. Hello?
She said you didn't say any of this with love. You're just saying all the things that you would say for an animal. You're not saying how much you love me and appreciate me.
That's true. And see, but that's the thing. And this is like my gripe with Beth. Even though, because I feel somewhat complicated feelings around Beth. Because I do, on the one hand, I do feel like Sheridan and Louise have been awful to her, really. And that she deserves to get revenge on them in whatever way she sees fit. But
you know, I love that.
But I also do get frustrated with like any of these women on this show that start to like really chase after a man who clearly does not want them. And like you just said, Fantasia, she understands what he's saying to her. She understands you make me sound like a golden retriever. So you're not saying, she understands he's not saying with any kind of love or care or anything, but she doesn't care about that. And it's like, why even bring it up if you don't care? Why even bother bringing it up? So,
he brought it up. She just was like, wait a minute now. Is this what you came to talk to me about? Look.
Wait a minute now. Yeah, well. Louise says to her, well, I don't mean to, saying like, I don't mean to make you sound like a golden retriever. He says, but it's just that I'm totally impressed with the way that you've handled this day that was supposed to have been your wedding. And Beth says, well, thank God my mother's out of the woods. I just have so much to be thankful for in my life. Like, she's really laying it on thick, right? Like, because she doesn't want him to break up with her. And I get it, girl, I do. But Louise says, well, that's exactly what I mean. You're so selfless on a day when you could totally be feeling sorry for yourself. You do anything for the people that you care for. And Beth says, that's the same with you, Louise. You're the most decent man that I've ever met. And Louise is like, stop saying that. The thing is, I haven't been completely honest with you, and it's time that I start. So I have a clip called Louise Comes Clean, because it's time to come clean, buddy. It's time to come clean. I think I'm in the right folder. Yeah. Give me a second. Let me get everything set up.
I hate that he kept saying your wedding, your day, you. Like, he
wasn't that's a good point too. He did keep saying your day.
Like, girl, leave this man alone.
No, that's such a good point.
There's something that you don't know about tonight. When I left the hospital to go back to the church...
You don't have to answer to me about every minute of your life, Louise. I trust you implicitly because you've never been anything but honest with me.
Yeah, I know, but it's just
I know you love Sheridan. I know what she meant to you, what she still means to you. I see things between you that Antonio can't, so I know she still owns your heart. But the thing is, she's married and will be as long as Antonio's alive.
I know.
Which brings us to where we are, right here and now. What's next? How do I help you get through this? How do I make all of your dreams come true now that Sheridan's married to your brother?
Beth, that's exactly what I mean. You know, here the most important day of your life gets ruined, and all you can think about is making my life better.
But I told you, all I care about is making you happy.
Another woman would be furious right now.
I love you, Louise, and I've known you practically forever. It wouldn't be fair for me to get mad about a part of you that I understand and accept. Just tell me something. If my mother hadn't had that heart attack tonight, would you have gone through with the wedding?
Yes. But I realized something at the hospital.
But that was then. This is now. Sheridan's married. But I'm still here for you. And I still want the same things that we talked about before. A good marriage, beautiful children. All the things that you said you wanted to.
I did. I do.
Then what's the problem?
Beth, how can you spend the rest of your life with someone who's thinking about someone else? And you deserve someone who loves you with their whole heart.
I love you, Luis. Not any other man. And I know that you still love Sheridan, but I believe that you also love me.
I do.
And that's where we start. I know that I can make you happy if you just give me the chance. I'll be a good wife and give you those beautiful children, and I will love you enough for both of us. Enough to make you forget about Sheridan. There's only one thing that I ask.
What's that?
If we get married, do you promise that you'll commit to me completely?
All right. So there's that.
I hated it.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying really hard. Like, he's trying really hard to let her down easy, but I think he really has to just put his foot down. Right? Like, she's not going to accept it. No matter what, he's just going to have to let himself be the bad guy, cuz he is the bad guy, right? And he doesn't want to be mean to her, and I understand that, but at this point, it's like she is ready to ruin her life over him.
You hook us up with some information. What happened at the hospital? He told her that he didn't want to be with her. He was going back to go marry Sheridan. Like, what happened?
Nothing happened at the hospital. As a matter of fact, oh my God. Thank you. Actually, thank you. Because this is worse than you think it is. At the hospital, she's dealing with her dying mother. I mean, granted, she was trying to kill her, but she's dealing with her dying mother. Meanwhile, he's outside of the little vestibule having a conversation with Hank and Eve, of all people, both of whom tell him, you need to go back to the church. You need to go tell Sheridan, go follow your heart. You need to stop the wedding. And when he says, well, I got to tell Beth, Hank is like, no, actually, I think it's Eve. One of them says, there's no time.
Eve was like, no, just go.
Yeah, just go. There's no time. Just go. Beth was watching the entire, like, she heard the whole conversation. And so he just runs out on Beth, who's, for all he knows, is just dealing with her dying mother. He runs out on her to go back to the church, but by the time he gets there, Sheridan and Antonio have already gotten married. And so, yeah, that's what happened. So it's even worse than what they're saying.
Even Hank would be getting some energy too. Look, I don't know if that's gonna come up, but they gonna be getting some. If it was me, if I was Beth, she got all that smoke for all them other people, they'd be getting some energy too.
Did I not say, Acacia, did I not say that Eve and Hank would be added to my list, but that my list of, like, who's got to get some smoke from me would be Sheridan, Louise, Eve, and then Hank. That would be the order of operations where I'm going. If I'm going on a rampage, those are the ones. That's the order in which I'm going.
And don't forget Gwen. Gwen up there too.
No, Gwen not up there. And here's
she
why.
gonna be on there.
No, Gwen's not up there right now. And here's why. Gwen and Beth have no connection to one another whatsoever. Gwen has all of Gwen's loyalty 100% does and should lie with Sheridan. So if I'm Beth, it's like, I understand that you don't like me and don't want me to be with Luis and you want your friend to be with him, whatever. But Hank, we're friends. Eve?
Yep.
Like, what are you doing? Right? No, and Sheridan and Luis, obviously, they are the culprits. So, but not Gwen.
She on my list. Look, you can
Stop
defend her.
making me defend Gwen. Stop
Gwen
it.
on my shit list just in general
defend
because I
her.
don't like her, but she's not on my shit list for that.
Yeah,
She's on my shit list because I love Teresa.
There's
But
a whole other shit
that's
list
a whole other
Gwen,
thing.
where Gwen numbers 1 through 10, right? Like there's an entire other shit list.
Gwen is also one of the people encouraging Sheridan, not only to like, she's not like, okay, so it'll be one thing if Gwen was like, Sheridan did this with Antonio, but you're like, I don't know, I just feel like you're a part of the problem too. Like
No,
I know everybody's
she
trying
tell
to
her.
convince, but you're still also trying to take my man away from me. So forget you.
She
Look,
I
did
can
tell
see
her
it, but
to
not
end
because they're
things.
friends. You know?
Exactly. Like
I ain't saying because they friends. I said you working against me and my man. That's the answer.
okay, then
I
And
guess
her mama
if
number
anyone
one.
working
Mama
against
number
me,
one.
then they all can get it.
if that's the metric, then then fine. If that is the metric, then that is fine. Okay, yes, she is working against Beth getting Louise for sure. But anyway, but I don't mind it because that's what she should be doing as Sheridan's quote best friend. So anyway, yeah, Luis he attempts to come clean with Beth. Beth is not having it. And after this conversation that we just saw, right, where she's saying, just what Sheridan's married to Antonio, like, I'm here, I am flesh standing right in front of you, I'm just a girl looking at a boy, right? Like,
settle for me.
Settle for
Settle for me. Come on, baby, just settle for me. I hated it. And then she like, so it like, I'm breaking up with you. He's clearly like he's clearly confused about you as a person. But like while he's saying things that's leading you to think he's breaking up. So when we get married, like what?
Right.
Girl?
He says, I'm breaking up with you. She says, no, you're not.
He's like, I still want the house and the kids
and
everything that you want. So like, let's just do it.
Yeah. Antonio is with her. No, we don't know how long that's gonna be. Let's go make some babies. Come on, we ain't gotta worry about that. Like, I understand that you're always gonna love her. And in 2 months, if Antonio's dead, you're still gonna be mine. Like, right? You're not gonna leave me, right? Because we're gonna have babies, right? You're gonna be loyal.
Honestly,
right?
You know what? If I think the only angle that maybe might work is if she told him, like, me and Sheridan can be sister wives. Like,
you love that. That would be.
Can you imagine? Oh my gosh! But
what would he get from Beth? Girl,
she
would be fine with that, though. I feel like
anything to have Luis. Like, she's said anything. I'll
if he
just
proposed that.
Happy.
I think if he proposed that, she would be fine with that. Now, I do think she would obviously poison Sheridan. Like eventually Sheridan would be out of the picture, especially if she has good proximity to Sheridan. Sheridan doesn't have a fucking chance. But I think if Louise proposed to her, like, well, what about this? You and Sheridan can be sister wives. And she would be like, okay, for now, I think she would go for it.
Let's if we have a little second for my boo, like, why do we think she is so hell-bent on marrying Luis, like, to get away from her mom? Like, does he think he gonna help her pay for like nursing? Like, what is the idea? Like, he got a place where I can go, like, so I don't have to live here with her?
No, because they were gonna live in her house.
Yeah, so I don't get it. Like,
because he lives at home with his mom, right? Like,
but he wants. Beth wanted to move in with her mom, his mom too. She said, Teresa said, you guys can come live here. She said, we might have to take you up on that.
In their new house. And I would. If I was Beth, I would be like, yeah, let's move into this new house.
Look, I'm moving in anyway, whether we married or not.
Her whole thing, we've kind of speculated, is that Beth has been treated so poorly by her mother and was sexually abused by the men that her mom would bring home. And so she has trust issues when it comes to men in general. And Luis is like the only man who's ever made her feel safe or special. And so she's willing, and so she loves him, but that love is an obsession, right? Like she's obsessed with Luis. And she has said more than once, there's only one man for her. She's never gotten into a relationship with anyone else because she said specifically, I think she said, I've already had the best. Why would I settle for the rest? I think that's exactly what she said.
But we're not.
No, yeah. And so
we're under the impression that that's the only man she's ever slept with at anything.
She thinks he's the greatest
her good
thing.
old 20 some odd years. That's crazy.
She thinks he's the greatest man in the world. She's unwell. She's not okay. Like Beth is psychologically, like, even if we strip away like all the times where she's ready to murder and maim people, just her regular, when she's being nice, she's not, there's that undercurrent of like desperation, like she's
and
not.
That's what Luis was trying to address. That's what he was addressing. Like, girl, how can you be so calm? This is crazy. Like,
he's
like
right.
That he said. So I'm like, but I just don't get, like, I don't know. Like you said, obsession.
We don't get it because it's like, one, we don't have that lady's cracked mentality, right? Like she's whacked out of her mind. But also because of that, we don't have the same, she has very low self-esteem. Like that, and that is where it all boils down to. That's what it all boils down to me, is that Beth has unbelievably low self-esteem, low self-image. She doesn't think anything of herself. She believes every nasty thing Edna has ever said about her. She believes it. It is her core belief that she is garbage, and she wants it not to be true. The only person who makes her feel like she's not garbage is Luis, I think. That's what I think.
And it makes sense. I mean, he's like her high school sweetheart or something. So he probably got her at this like vulnerable age when she was being sexually abused and like having a mom who's telling you all this stuff. And so she honestly sounds like she has PTSD. Like, everyone in this show has PTSD, but she is like a complex trauma, PTSD, maybe even developing like a personality disorder type deal because of it. So,
sure. And what were we gonna say, Fantasia?
Do we think Luis knows about all of that stuff, or do you think she kept that to herself? She kept that to herself.
No, Luis doesn't know about any of that. And in general, victims feel such deep shame, especially she hasn't been in any therapy. She hasn't addressed any of that. There's just no way she has shared that information with Luis. Also, Luis would not be so kind to Edna, and like if he knew how Edna really was, they wouldn't be putting on the act that they put on in front of him. Right? They put on an act in front of him. And so no, he has no clue. He doesn't know. And I understand why she hasn't shared that with him. I know I'm certain she has a deep sense of shame around it. Like, imagine how it feels to tell somebody like, my mother doesn't love me. She thinks I'm evil. She's been very verbally abusive to me my whole life. And on top of that, she used to let men come in the house and touch me. No, that's not something you'd share with people. With anybody, I think it takes a lot to be able to share that with somebody, and it takes a lot of therapy. It takes a lot of healing. It takes a lot of unpacking shit. And Beth hasn't done any of that at all. So, so Luis also, I think because he doesn't have that piece of the puzzle, also that's partially why he's like, what is going on with this lady? You know what I mean? Like, that's why he can't wrap his mind around it. But like, he can't even imagine what she's been through. He can't. He had at least a loving mother. So anyway, Beth pleads her case, as we saw in the clip, and she tells him, you don't have to tell me right now. You don't have to make your decision right now. Just just think about it. And she gives him some room to think about it. And he leaves to get some air and to think. And when he leaves, Beth goes and puts on her negligee. She's like the first person in the entire show to actually put on something sexy. Like, it was for the first time. It wasn't like a prom dress or a nun's habit.
She looked good.
I can't remember who said it, but somebody said if it's silky, it's sexy. It might have been me, but I can't remember who. Somebody said it. If it's silky, it's sexy. But she actually put on something a little spicy. Like, it was a nice, cute little spaghetti strap negligee right down through to her thigh. You know, she was looking good. She was looking sexy. She was.
They made her look good before the break.
Yeah. She was like, I gotta look really good so he don't break up with me. Like, all I have to, and this is how she thinks though. She was like, all I have to do is when Luis comes back, he'll see me looking like this. He'll see how romantic it is in here. All I have to do is seduce him, and it'll be like Sheridan. It'll make him forget Sheridan ever existed.
Put him on to make him want to marry me.
Put it on to make him want to marry me. Put it on to make him want to marry me. Okay, Rashida.
Oh my God, I haven't heard that song in forever.
Wait, what?
I haven't heard the song in forever. I like watch all the TikToks about Rashida and.
Oh my God. Okay, we're gonna go on a little, not a tangent, but I am gonna say, did y'all see the little prank on TikTok when people were like calling their friends, asking them if they want to go to the Rashida concert?
No.
Yes. Like, why would I want to go back?
Oh my God, those were
disrespectful.
So funny to me, because they would call their friend and be like, "Hey, it's a Rashida, it's a concert I want to go to, but nobody wants to go with me. Like, do you want to go to this concert?" And the friend would be like, "Okay, well, what is it? Who is it?" And they would be like, "Rashida," and everybody would be like, "Kirk's Rashida." And then I was like, "Well, how much are the tickets?"
That is
and
hilarious.
somebody would be like, "How much are the tickets?" And they would be like, "Oh, it's like $200 for Rashida." Like, what songs does she even have? Oh my God. But she did have a concert, apparently. I was like, that made me scream when I saw somebody at a Rashida concert. I was like, oh, that's hilarious.
That is so disrespectful. That is so disrespectful.
That's a little love and hip hop aside for anyone who partakes. I haven't watched Love and Hip Hop in years.
It's been years. I watched the TikTok. I watched the old clips and because it was such a good time.
Yeah, it used to be so good. I stopped around the pandemic because everything kind of stopped. And so I just never picked it back up. And I'm okay with that. Yeah, it's for the best.
It got stupid. There were too many variants of it.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Wait, what were you saying in case you finished? What were you saying?
I was just saying it was too many variants of it. I got tired. It was like Hollywood and New York and Florida or Miami or whatever. I was like,
Yeah, I only ever watched Atlanta and New York. I didn't watch the other ones. I don't care about Ray J. What were you gonna say, Fantasia?
Oh, the YouTubers took care of it. You didn't have to watch it no more. Like, you just watched somebody that reviewed it, like we review and stuff, and they took care of it because it wasn't worth watching. Then everything else was just on Instagram, So nothing happening. Call me
when Rashida divorces Kirk. Then I'll watch again. But until then, I'm out. I'm good.
It's never happening. Never gonna happen.
I don't understand.
She's a Beth. She is a Beth. Rashida, you know what? Rashida is basically Beth. So, anyway, where were we? Luis goes
Sexy
out for.
Beth.
He goes out to think. Beth is getting all sexy and getting the room all romantic because she's gonna seduce him. But of course, Luis goes out into the hallway and he just like says Sheridan's name. He's like, "Oh, Sheridan," and she goes, "Yes."
Ridiculous.
And he's like, "Wait a minute." And so he turns a corner and he comes face to face with Sheridan. I skip. Who gives a shit? Because they spend some time being angry at each other, right? Like, "Oh, I can't believe you're here. I can't believe you got married to my brother, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you know exactly why I married your brother. No, I don't. Yes, you do. Well, I went to the judge's office and you weren't there. No, you didn't. I was there all night." That you got it. That's what happened, y'all. And then they realized that they had just missed each other. It was just a simple misunderstanding. Luis does mention that he asked the clerk about if Sheridan had been there, And Sheridan explains, oh, I told her to lie because I didn't want it to get back to Antonio that I was there going to elope with you. And so this was all annoying awkwardness. But after they realized that they both showed up to the elopement, but just missed each other, they confessed their feelings to each other once again. They confess and confide in each other their unending love for each other. They decide they have to be together and they're gonna have to tell Antonio the truth. Luis says, I want to hold you and I want to make love to you all night long, but you married my brother. Look, Sheridan, I was raised a certain way by my mother and by the church. I can't commit adultery.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Because we already know where this goes. I already know where this goes. Anytime I can't commit adultery, except I'm going to watch you do it over and over and over again. Then Sheridan says, I can't either. And Luis says, well, now that I know that we both want to be together and love each other, I'll never let go of you. What are we going to do, Luis? How are we going to fix this? And Luis says, we're going to do what we should have done a long time ago. We're going to tell my brother the truth. Meanwhile, there's a nosy ass maid. There's always a nosy ass maid. It was funny because we were watching this on a watch party and the maid came in and I immediately was like, oh man, I love these like nosy ass side characters. Every time I love these nosy. I didn't like this one. I thought I was going to like her. I despised what they did with this character. So this nosy ass maid
very
goes to she goes to Sheridan and Antonio's room, knocks, and Antonio's in there by himself. He opens the door and she says, oh, it's such a cold night. I brought you an extra blanket. And he's like, oh wait, he opens the door and he's like, Sheridan. He's like, Sheridan. She's like, no, I'm the maid. I brought you an extra blanket. And he's like, I'm sorry, I'm blind, so I didn't know who you were.
That cracked me up. And he's like, I guess I'll just have to take your word for it. Like, for what? That it's cold, that you brought a blanket?
That she's the maid, because she could just be anybody, honestly.
I was like, my thing is like, I think that maid gleaned that you were blind by the way you opened the door and just kind of stood there. And two, you called her Sheridan. No, and obviously she's the maid and y'all have never met before in his life. And so I was like, yeah, you didn't have to tell her you're blind, but fine, whatever. He told her. So she comes in, she starts up a conversation with him. She came in saying, oh, I brought you an extra blanket, but then she proceeds to like turn down the bed and is like moving stuff around. She's looking at his pill bottles. She's reading his name off his pill bottles. She's like, oh, he talks about how he and his wife are here for their honeymoon and she'll be back any minute. She just went out to get some ice. And she's like, well, do you want me to give you your medication? I was like, why?
Weirdo. So involved.
And he's like, no, my wife will be back any minute to give me my medication. Honestly, here's the thing. Even if she doesn't know which one he's supposed to be taking right now. And I don't know if he knows which ones he's supposed to be taking right now, right? Like, does he know the names of the medications? I don't know. He should, but he's so helpless and useless that I feel like he doesn't. And he doesn't care about the pills. He's already called them silly pills earlier today. So, anyway, she offers to help him. He's like, no, my wife's going to come back and she's going to give me the pills because she's sexy and this is the best night of my life.
Girl.
The maid's like, okay, if you're sure. And he's like, yeah, I'm sure. Get the hell out. And so she leaves. She then goes next door, knock, knock, knock on Beth's door. Beth opens the door and the maid's like, it's such a cold night. I brought you an extra blanket. Beth's like, okay, great. Hurry up. Like, make it quick. She lets the lady in. That lady starts turning down the bed in her room. And the nosy maid again tells Beth that there's another couple next door and named Lopez Fitzgerald. I know because I read the name off his pill bottles and he's waiting on his wife and his wife is out getting ice and he was wondering what could keep a wife away from her honeymoon on a night like this, like she'll be right back. It was so weird. It was so strange. The conversation this maid was having. Fantasia, you seem like you have something to say.
You know, I got something to say about that lady. Like, I mean, even just on a regular day, this is the honeymoon suite. Don't be knocking on my door because you don't know what I'm over here doing. And you did it to both couples with that thin ass blanket where they got a fireplace right there. We didn't call you. You looking through all that stuff. I would have thought she was trying to rob us. I wouldn't have thought she was a maid at this point. Like you are casing my place right now to see what I got. And then you go next door and tell somebody about it. Well, he couldn't see it, but Beth can hear you and see what you're doing. So I'm like, girl, get out of my room. And I look good.
Yeah.
Get the hell out before my man get back.
And again, as a person who worked at hotels, there's privacy and security. You're not supposed to tell. You can't tell other guests who's in other rooms, right? Like you can't say like, "Oh, Antonio Lopez Fitzgerald is in room 11." Like that.
And he got a bunch of pills.
Yeah.
And I looked at them like, why?
Yeah,
and you're telling me
on yourself at this point. Like,
yeah, that was weird.
She is like the nosiest of all of our side characters we've ever seen. Like this is such a nosy ass bitch.
I love
that Beth was like, hurry, like get out of here.
She could have just said, hey, is that your family? They got the same last name as y'all, if anything. You know, they kind of like, but you just gossiping. Like weird.
Gossiping. She was just gossiping with Beth, who didn't even want her to be there. So
Girl.
The maid finally leaves, and then obviously Beth is tipped off that Sheridan and Antonio are at the hotel with them, and she realizes, okay, Luis isn't here. Sheridan's not next door. They're probably together, right? So she goes out to find them and listens in on their conversation, that whole conversation about them having that mix up and how they love each other. Like she heard the vast majority of that conversation. And so she goes back to her room and she snaps, frankly. So I do have a clip for this. Beth snaps. I have a few Beth clips this week. A couple.
I bet you
she was great.
Girl.
No, Beth was great.
How dare Louise and Sheridan do this to me? First they try to elope, only I stopped that from happening. Then Sheridan marries Antonio, leaving me enough time to marry Louise before his brother croaks. Only now Louise is having second thoughts. He said that he loved me. But I think he brought me here just so he could dump me so he could be free to marry Sheridan before his brother's even cold in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
That was not supposed to happen. I was just gonna seduce Luis and get him to marry me. Then he just goes off, gets some fresh air, and 5 minutes later he's swearing his undying love to that two-timing slut Sheridan.
Agreed.
Well, I will not let them get away with this. I'll kill them. I'll kill them both.
Yeah.
I am sick and tired of being treated this way. Louis thinks he could just keep me dangling while he waits for that slut Sheridan to make up her mind which man she's in love with. I'm not gonna take it anymore. They think they could just treat me like a piece of trash and throw me out like garbage. Why can't you just love me, Louise? You told me you loved me. I thought you did. You treated me this way. You could just go ahead and marry me. I would make you forget all about Sheridan. I would make you so happy. But it's not Luis. No. He's not the one causing me all this pain.
No, he is.
It's Sheridan. She's the one. I'm not gonna let her get away with it. I'll see her death first.
Oh, that's right. Kill her.
Okay, so yeah, Beth is snapping, right? I I really love the performance that this actress is giving. I want to say that. That's number one. Like the performance is top tier to me. She's just like she's becoming more and more deranged, and I really like that. I feel bad. I feel bad for Beth. I feel bad for her. I don't think she should necessarily murder them, but I do also get where she's coming from. Like,
so I play devil's advocate a lot, Latar. So I have to ask, did Luis? I mean, I know he goes back and forth about loving her, but it didn't give, like tonight, at least tonight, what I'm seeing, it didn't give that he was like trying to lead you on and treat you like trash. It's like he's trying to like get you to go ahead about your business. So for her to be acting like he just told her like, yeah, we're gonna be together and I'm gonna like dismiss Sheridan like tonight, because clearly he's trying to break up with you.
Beth is irrational. Beth is irrational, right? Like, yeah, I agree with you. Luis hasn't treated. I mean, he is kind of, in my opinion, he's already been treating her like trash, but she doesn't see the way he's been treating her like trash. And so I agree in this moment, what he has been trying to say to her and becoming clean with her. I don't think that was him treating her like trash. Absolutely not. So if she's okay with all the other shit, she could be okay with this, but she's irrational, right? And she thinks she's grasping at anything to try to keep him with her. And, it's slipping through her fingers and she's losing it, right? Like she is not a sane person. Fantasia. I don't claim to be completely sane, but I'm closer to my sanity than Beth is, right? And because of that, yes, to me, I'm looking at that because I'm more rational than she is. I'm looking at this and like, girl, cut your losses. Enjoy this shit. Enjoy the champagne. Enjoy this. Go to the bar. Rack up a tab on his credit card, on his dime. And
let Sheridan pay for it. Let Sheridan pay for it. Right?
Let Sheridan pay for it. Whoever. I don't care. Just not me. I won't be paying for it. Girl. But she's not well. I'm gonna have to keep saying that.
That made me so upset. Like, I'm like I was mad at her. I'm like, girl, what the wall do to you? Go stab that bitch. Go stab him.
Step the wall. Oh my God. Well, all I could think about was like the cleaning crew, the cleaning lady the next day coming in, like, are these stab marks on the wall? Like, girl, what happened here?
Ridiculous.
Some weird kinky sex happening in this honeymoon suite. But yeah, Beth right now, I'm still able to pity her, right? Like I still see her as a pitiable creature. And she's upset. Like she was blindsided by this. She didn't expect Sheridan and Antonio to be there. She just watched them like swear their love for each other. She just had a conversation with Luis about this, right? They just had the conversation. And she thought that it was going in her direction, and it's not. And yeah, she's not taking it well
at all. But it's like he told me he left me. You just told him to go think about it, honestly. Like that's what I recall him saying. Like you said, go think about it, go get some fresh air. I'll be here waiting for you to say yes. But he didn't say that, because if it was like that,
he loved her. Though he did say he loved her. He has said he loved her multiple times. And he does love her. He just didn't say that he could agree to marry her and be faithful to her. So, but he did say he loved her.
Girl, she better be a cocko. She better go ahead and sit there and let him do what he do and go ahead. Learn that in Hamilton.
She is such a cuckold. Ugh. God bless herself.
I do feel bad. Like that scene, I do feel bad for her because it is very just like it is sad. But
yeah,
general, like she is causing a lot of this herself. Like let that man finish talking. He's telling you. He's trying to, like you said, let him let you down easy. Let him let you down because just like you said, go do something else with yourself. Like, go spend his money, whatever, but not this.
He knows what he's trying to do. She's trying to stop him from doing it.
What was Luis about to admit to her though? Like, is he going to say, "Oh yeah, I slept with Sheridan last night"?
No, he was going to go tell her that he went back to the church. Which doesn't he say that?
I thought so. He said, "I wanted to let you know when I went back or when I left the hospital, I went to the church." And she kept saying, "I don't need to know your things. I don't need to know." But regardless, like, what are you going to admit? Like the same shit she already know?
That's what he was going to. Well, see, he doesn't know that she knows that. Right, because he left her without telling her anything. So he doesn't know that she knows that he went back to the church to be with Sheridan. So he was going to come clean about that, but she already knows that, and so that's why she's cutting him off, because she knows what he's going to say, and she doesn't want to hear it. 2, she already knows what it is. 3, she doesn't give a fuck about it. Like
But what is that to tell? Like, all right, Luis is going to come now. That'll get you killed. So, like, that's crazy. You're going to bring me up here to tell me that while my mom's essentially dying, you were going to go marry this chick? Like, it would have been better if you had said, "I've decided that I'm not going through with this with you, babe." Like, it's just that. But for you to admit that, I'm gonna leave you. I left you to go try to stop my brother from marrying her.
That's the thing. That's the thing, Fantasia. Nothing is working to keep him. Like, the fact that he loves Sheridan doesn't matter to her, right? So he has to tell her. I think he thinks if he tells her the truth. Well, there's 2 things here. One, Luis in general just likes to be honest and wants to tell the truth about things. But 2, I think he's thinking, like, maybe if she knew just how much I had done, maybe she'll change her mind, right? Like, maybe if she knew the full spectrum, the full truth. And he's still not telling her the full spectrum, right? Because like you pointed out, he wasn't about to tell her that they slept together. He didn't tell her that. He wasn't about to tell her that they were going to elope. Maybe he was, but it didn't seem like that. It seemed like he was saying, when I went back to the church, he was just going to tell her the portion that where he went back to the church to stop the wedding because he wanted to be with Sheridan. So he's still not giving her the full picture. But she has the full picture. She knows everything.
We know she knows. We know she know. But my thing is that even if he had just got that out, okay, and she still married your brother, so.
He would have told, and see that, exactly. She won't accept anything, but he doesn't know that yet. And so I think he was going to start with, like, here's a hard truth, and hope that would be enough to end it. Then he probably would have escalated to the next hard truth, which is, well, actually, we were going to elope together. And then the next hard truth, oh, actually, we've been sleeping together. Right. So.
And she's still married to your brother.
Exactly. And none of that would have married. Exactly. And none of that would have mattered to Beth. None of it would have mattered to Beth. But I think that may have been his kind of game plan here, thinking, like, because any regular, sane, rational woman would hear any of this information and be like, okay, yeah, we shouldn't be.
You kind of suck. Yeah, you kind of suck.
Like, I don't want to be with you. At that point, I don't want to be with you. You're not the man I thought you were. Right?
Which is why I'm trying to figure out why she's so upset. Like, this dude sucks, like, on several different levels. Like, no, we didn't get there yet. We didn't get there yet, but we'll get there. Because I'm like, you're willing to do certain things that attracted me to you. Like, you're a good guy and you're showing all bad guy shit now.
Hello. So, exactly. You're not, he's not acting in a way that she has become accustomed to him acting, right? Like him being like so upright and straightforward and honest with her. He's been lying to her. He's been lying to her for a while, right? She knows it. She doesn't care. But that's not it. It is in antithesis to what she believes about, like, the myth that she has about Luis, that he's this great guy. He's so good. He's not actually.
Sucks.
He's not actually. So anyway, let's talk about stupid ass Antonio. Antonio is alone in his room, just standing there like a NPC in a video game, waiting for Sheridan to get back to activate him. And he's standing there and he's like, oh, I wonder where Sheridan is. She's been gone for a while. And he starts to feel a little funny. He's like, I can't wait for Sheridan to get back. I have to take my pills now. I have to take my medicine by myself. So he goes over to where the pills are. He starts to fumble with them. Of course, he can't see any of the labels. He doesn't know which one he's supposed to be taking. See, here's the thing. If it's so important that he take his pills on time, right? And he can't see and I'm gonna blame this on Eve, actually. Those pill bottles, she should have told them to mark them with something that he can feel, right? Like maybe some sort of sticker or some sort of something on them where he can feel it and say, oh, this is the one that I take first. This is the one that I take second, right? So he can take his own medication. The way it's set up, he doesn't know which one of these pill bottles is the pill he needs to take. He can't see them. He can only touch them, and they all feel the same. So he's fumbling with them, trying to figure out which pill to take. He opens a bottle, so I guess he maybe figures it out or just decides to take a pill. He's just like, I gotta take something. And so he opens the bottle, but he collapses. Pills go everywhere. It was glorious. I loved it.
It was. My thing is, it's like the way his medication regimen is set up, Sheridan has to be there all times. Eve sucks for that too.
No, exactly. No, that's exactly my point. Is like, okay, you know that the regimen is set up in such a way that he would either need somebody to be with him all the time, or we have to find a system that works for him since he is blind, right? Which, of course, you should be finding a system that works for him because he's blind so that he can take care of himself. And so, yeah, the onus is just always on Sheridan to give him his pills. Like,
that's the system.
He's just so helpless. Like, throughout, even like the last episodes from last week or whatever, he's just always helpless. He's always like, help me here, help me there. Like, I get that he's newly blind, but like he can't take his own medicine on his own. Like, and then he doesn't even want to take the medicine. Like, you're not even helping yourself at this point.
Yeah, and he's been blind for a while.
So it's not
Fair
like
trade.
this happened yesterday that he has to learn how to, maneuver. Like, he should kind of at least have it down a little bit.
Why doesn't he have a cane? He
thought about that.
led around.
Fair trade. He took care of Diana for a long time too. So he like, bitch, it's your turn. Take care of me.
He's always having to be led around. And I'm like, why don't you have a cane?
I did wonder why he didn't have the cane or like something. He has
that's basic. That's the basic like thing you need. And so yeah, he is very helpless. More helpless than I think he needs to be.
His tool is named Sheridan Crane Lopez Fitzgerald.
That's true.
That's his caretaker. She is supposed to stand by his side. How dare she leave him in a room by himself?
Oh my gosh. Truly, actually. That's basically where we're headed with this. So, Sheridan and Louise head back to the room. They're going to tell Antonio the truth, allegedly. So they get back to the room. They open the door, find him on the floor. Of course, he's unresponsive. Louise is like, I can't feel a heartbeat. Things descend into chaos. Louise runs next door to Beth, who's waiting for him with a knife, right? Because she was planning to stab him when he came through the door. And but she sees him and he's like distressed. He's like, I got to go to the hospital. Sheridan and Louise are here. I mean, Sheridan and Antonio are here. Antonio collapsed. We got to take him to the hospital. And she's like, oh my God, I'll come with you. She goes over to the room. Louise and Sheridan kind of get Antonio up. Sheridan yells back at Beth, can you get the suitcases out of the closet? Beth gives her the nastiest stank face. And I was with Beth, honestly. I was like, bitch, who are you barking orders at?
You got maids.
I was like, I'm about to get nothing. Like, no, get it yourself. Like, I'll help over here. Like,
you got
come back and get it. Come back and get it tomorrow.
Oh, but let me say this. So, yes, Antonio collapses. Oh my God, that nosy ass maid comes back. So Antonio collapses. They ask the maid to call an ambulance. The maid is on the phone trying to get an ambulance on the phone, or get an ambulance up to the hotel. And apparently it's such a bad snowstorm. A reminder, just let everybody know, it's a bad snowstorm tonight, okay? So the snow is so bad that the ambulance can't make it through. But Luis is like, well, I have 4-wheel drive, so I'll take him to the hospital. You're telling me that in a place in New England where it snows all the time, like they have very harsh winters, that the ambulances are not equipped to handle the snow? Like you don't have emergency vehicles that can get to the cliffside inn.
It's cliffside.
It's cliffside.
They can't go up that far, right?
They can't go up the cliff. Like, but Luis is like RAV4 can do the job fine. Like right? Like his little Toyota's gonna be fine in the snow, but the ambulance isn't.
It's his brother. He's more committed to the idea. They said, we don't know him. We don't care about him. We are not risking our lives. You can risk your life.
We want him dead anyway. Yeah. Hilarious. So anyway, that fucking nurse then lays on the guilt. Like she says, I'm trying to remember if I wrote it down in my notes. She makes
tripping the hell out of Sheridan.
She makes Sheridan feel extremely guilty because Sheridan realizes, oh no, Antonio's 30-minute pill, I forgot about it. I forgot to give him his pill. And then that nurse says, oh my gosh, I was worried something like this would happen because he wasn't looking so good. And I offered to help him with his meds, but he said, no, my beautiful, sexy wife's going to be back in a moment and she's going to give me the pills. And so he wouldn't let me help him with his pills. But he said, that she would be back in a minute because it's your honeymoon, and what could possibly be keeping you from your honeymoon with your dying husband?
But mind you, at this time, she doesn't know that Sheridan's the wife.
Right.
I don't think she knows Sheridan's the wife, so she's just talking trash. So Sheridan is feeling like trash.
Yeah.
How embarrassing.
Yeah, I don't know if she knew she was the wife or not, or if she was just being a bitch. I'm not sure. But yeah, she really lays it on thick. And so anyway, they then, Sheridan calls for Eve, who's trying to make love to her husband, trying her best.
Can't wait till we get there, girl.
Her husband. And Eve is like, I'll meet you at the ER. And, so they go to the hospital. At the hospital, Sheridan feels terrible about not giving Antonio his pills, as she should. I'm sorry. I know you're all wrapped up in Luis, but that's pretty fucked up, girl. Like, she feels terrible about not giving him his pills.
It was out there for more than 30 minutes. Shame on you, Sheridan, because all you were supposed to go do is get some damn ice.
Child. Beth is seething. She's keeping it hidden, but she's like, I mean, you can tell that there's a boil just roiling inside of her, right? And so Beth is seething with rage, and she's trying to hide it, but she quietly says to herself, that's right, Sheridan. If Antonio dies, it's your fault. You don't care who you hurt or how many lives you destroy.
She still got that knife in her hand, too. Yeah. Had none of them coats.
I love how crazy she is. And so then this is when Eve comes out to like give them an update saying Antonio's not looking good. And she says to to Sheridan, like, none of this had to happen. And she says, Sheridan, I gave you explicit instructions on Antonio's medication. I told you how critical it was that he get the medication on time. What happened? Okay, so first of all, girl, lay the fuck off, because it's not my fault that you didn't give him something, pills that he could take by himself. Like, well, I have to be there every second of every goddamn day. My God.
That's your man. You're supposed to care enough to fix it for him then. If that's the case, you could have got him a different bottle.
I just didn't like Eve's attitude. That's what I'm going to say. No. I didn't like her. I didn't like Miss Dr. Death's attitude. Okay.
Dr. Death said she is laying the guilt trip because y'all done stopped her. She got blue balls too now. And y'all interfering with her life because you calling her with this BS.
If Antonio dies, it's Eve's fault anyway. So she's not been giving him good care. She has not been giving him good care.
Really not, because I don't understand how these, like, he was okay. Now he take these pills. If you don't take them, he die. That's crazy. It's crazy.
Like, what are you dosing him with?
Yeah.
So Sheridan explains, she goes, I was just outside in the hallway. And Eve says, for how long? And Sheridan goes, I don't know. And Eve says, well, what could have been more important than making sure that Antonio got his medication? And this is when Luis explains that Sheridan was with him. And Eve is incredulous, right? Eve is like, oh my God. That's rich. Weren't you the one that told both of them to follow their hearts not 24 hours ago? Was that not Dr. Eve Russell? Because I recall her telling both of them that they need to follow their hearts. Don't worry about Beth. Don't worry about Antonio. Like, I'm a woman too. She said that to Sheridan. I'm a woman too. And a woman's got to do what a woman's got to do. Well,
yeah. So
at this point, Dr.
She was interfering. Look, I'm gonna tell you, Eve mad because she had things to do tonight. If you had did that shit, she wouldn't have made her plans, right, to do her thing. And you interfering with my life now. Now my man at home.
I'm gonna say this.
Maybe that's why she's not.
I'm gonna say this. If I was Eve, I would not have gone. I'm sorry, I would not have. We'll talk about it later. But if I was Eve, I don't think I would have gone.
He's gonna die anyway.
Yeah.
He's dying. He's dying anyway. I'm not on call. Somebody else has my service. I'm trying to have one night to myself. Like you people need me constantly. So I think I would have been like, okay, Dr. Jacobs or whoever she had sent over there can handle it. He's dying anyway. It's not
right. Let him die. That's what I put. I said shit. I said, you should have been there for your husband, but shit, let him die at this point. Like, what? Y'all gonna keep band-aiding him.
Oh my God, yeah. After she told me, like, oh, I didn't give him his pills, I'm like, you know what? I'm going home. This is ridiculous.
This is not my problem. Like,
this is ridiculous.
That's on you at this point.
I'm off today.
You fulfilled his dream. Like, go ahead. He happy. He died a happy man.
He said he died happy. Let him do it.
And honestly, if I was Sheridan and them, I probably would have let him stay dead, like let him stay, whatever. And Pilar, look, he died happy, Pilar. Yeah. He got what he wanted. Like, what am I supposed to do at this point? Like, I gave him, he was so excited he died. I don't know. What you want me?
Well, let's talk about sweet, innocent Beth. Let's talk about what's going on with Beth, because while all of this is happening in the hospital, Beth goes to the chapel of the hospital and she says a hilarious prayer. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to watch Beth's prayer, which I thought was so funny.
Please, God, don't let Antonio die. He's Sheridan's husband, and she'll leave Luis alone if Antonio lives, but well, if he doesn't, I hope that she'll be so poisoned with guilt that she will never have a relationship with Luis again. And I pray that Sheridan blames herself for Antonio's death because she was with Luis. And that guilt will keep them apart forever. And it will destroy their love. What? God, are you mad at me? Because I'm praying for someone else to have a miserable life? Well, I don't care. I want Sheridan to be miserable. She has done nothing but bring misery to me, and she's tried to destroy my life. Whether or not Antonio lives, I will never let Sheridan take Luis away from me. Never.
I know that's right, girl.
Girl, you in the wrong chapel now. Like, how you in there praying for that? You can't pray for that.
The prayer started out fine, right? Please, God, don't let Antonio die. I was like, okay, we're We're on track for a regular prayer.
Mhm.
Because if Antonio dies, that bitch Sheridan,
Right.
that bitch Sheridan will take Louise from me, and I want Sheridan to be miserable. Like, okay.
Ridiculous.
I don't know if the Lord is listening to this prayer, but you know, they do say he's a vengeful God. So, you know, maybe the Lord is listening. I don't know.
Somebody's listening. And I don't know.
Somebody
God, but
Look, they gave her the little wind, like, oh, we don't like this.
That was so funny. And she's like, what? What is it? Like, girl, we warning you. This is not right. We're warning you.
Like, you're in the wrong church, boo. That's all. Like, girl,
Yeah,
you better
take
go
that down
out
to the
there.
satanic temple. Girl.
Take it to the cemetery.
Yeah, go do your seance or whatever. Bring back some ghouls to take Sheridan down to the
Girl.
deep. But yeah, no, that prayer was so good. I don't know. I loved it. I love her saying, I want Sheridan to be miserable. Oh, I don't know. It's like, cause you know what it is? And I sometimes wonder about myself because I do think of myself as a pretty good, like a good person. Like I care about people in general. And like, I think, you know, you should live and let live. And, you know, I think that I'm a very open, accepting, kind person in general. However, are there some people that I want to be miserable? Yes. Yeah. I hope they're miserable. I hope you're fucking miserable. Like, I don't even want you to die. I want you to live an extremely miserable fucking life. And so I got that. I understood this prayer. I did. I was like, yeah, I want Sheridan to be miserable. Yes. Yes. But I know that people may disagree with me. Go on.
I'm just thinking of crazy ex-girlfriend right now. I'm a good person. Yeah, girl. Yep. She's a good person. You're a good person. Mm-hmm.
I'm a good person, just like
we
Beth.
we all are good people like Beth. I'm gonna say this: I don't necessarily want people to be miserable. I just want y'all to leave me the hell alone. Don't bother me. I don't care what you do with your life. I ain't praying for you to be miserable. I don't think I've done that yet, lately, recently, ever. I don't know. We'll think about it. But I can see you wanting somebody like to get their just desserts, right? Like you've been doing fuck shit all this time. Something need to happen to you.
Listen, when I say there's people I want to be miserable, I don't know that there's people. I was about to say I don't know there's people in my like that I've met in my life that I want to be miserable, but I don't know that that's exactly true. However, when I say that, and I say it with such like conviction, there are people in like our government I want to live very miserable existences. Like they don't deserve anything good in their fucking life for the rest of their lives. They deserve all the bad things that could possibly happen to them. And I feel that deeply. Like I feel it deeply. So
clearly.
So it is what it is.
Or prayed for it, but
I wouldn't
maybe prayed around it, you know.
I don't pray, so
okay, well,
I'm not praying for it. That's not something I would pray to God for. I'm just saying I understand,
hoping that it happens.
Yeah, I understand the feelings of wanting somebody else to be miserable. I understand that feeling. I have felt that. Yeah, for sure. So I don't know. I love that she put it in a prayer and went to the chapel to do it.
Girl, it was the chapel for me.
Like, God, please.
She got on her knees.
These people are disrespectful in this church. Father Lonigan ain't doing right. They are so disrespectful in these churches.
This whole town and their religion.
His flock has fully been led astray. Fully and completely. Yeah, no, Father Lonigan is not doing his job.
Girl.
So
the fact that Julian was the only one in that, like I said, the fact that Julian was the only one that acknowledged that he was even in church asking for shit that isn't supposed to be asked for in church,
right?
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's so true. Because a lot of them had like not so great like prayers or whatever. I guess they were resolutions, but they were in a church. So, so at this point, Edna, Beth prays some more. I didn't get that. I didn't clip that, but she does some more like praying. I don't think I clipped it. I'm pretty sure I didn't. But Edna comes in and interrupts Beth's quote prayer And she just antagonizes her as she does, saying God doesn't answer wicked people's prayers. And then Beth's like, what are you doing up? You just had a heart attack. And Edna says, well, it was just a mild one, luckily, not enough to prevent me from stopping you, little missy. And Beth says, nothing's going to stop me from getting my man. Certainly not an old hag like you. And she says, I wish that heart attack had really killed you. Ugh. I mean, it's how she feels. So, and her feelings are valid, I guess. It was mean. It was mean.
Look, I agree. I would agree with Beth that that was my mom and that was my situation. She better be glad that Beth even took her to the hospital at this point. Like, girl, I was just like, go to nursing home, straight up. Don't pass go. Like, whatever her care is, we don't have the money to pay for it. Whatever. Because she's an asshole. You literally, if you had a heart attack, you almost just died and you still married about me and Sheridan. You're still fixated about Sheridan marrying whomever she want to marry. Yeah, you don't give a damn about me.
More concerned about like your diet and like making sure you take your blood thinners on time.
Right. Like, so I'm like, yeah, I wish you would have died, girl. You still on the wrong side. Girl, go ahead about my business, about your business.
So they go back out and they watch the conversation between Eve, Luis, and Sheridan. Like she hears everything that Eve says to them. So let's talk about that. Eve says, I can't believe you left Antonio to be with Luis. Talking to Sheridan. I can't believe you left Antonio to be with Luis. You can't. You literally told her to fucking do it. Okay? I can't believe you left Antonio to be with Luis. And then you forgot to give Antonio his medication. And then Luis like explains the whole situation about the elopement and all of that bullshit. And Eve says, this is none of my business. Oh, really? It's not any of your business now? Eve, it's not any of your fucking business. Are you joking? Again, I will reiterate. The only reason Luis even went back to the church, right, is because Eve had told him, like, go. You need to go. You have to go. Leave Beth. Whatever. So you made it your business. Like 10 hours ago, you made it your business. And so she's like, it's none of my business whether you two get together or not. But right now, I have a patient in there whose life is on the line. You created this situation, Eve. And she says, and the reason he is in such bad shape is because you were with Luis instead of with Antonio, giving him his medication. Again, the medication should be set up in such a way that Antonio can take the medication regardless of if somebody's there with him or not, right? Like that's just a gap in your care plan for him.
I think that's Eve's responsibility. That I told you what the regimen is. Y'all come up with it at home how you're going to do it. Even if Pilar got to come over there every night and give it to her herself. That's y'all business. But I told you it was important. And instead of doing what you're supposed to do, because if you're not going to set up the regimen yourself, you should have been there to give him that medicine. Now, I had to leave my man in the bed to come deal with this BS.
You know what? You are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. It's not Eve's responsibility to make sure that Antonio gets his pills, I suppose. They should have set up the plan themselves. You're right. I'm gonna say I have no retort to that.
And in defense of Eve, if you had told him earlier, I was already out doing stuff, I wouldn't have mind coming back to the hospital to help him, back to life. At least we would have known the truth. We don't know if he dies or if he stays alive, if he can handle it. Y'all went on vacation. I thought I was off. I'm pissed that I'm back. Because let's not forget what I was doing before I got this phone call.
Hello. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So Eve tells them, I just hope that your coming together tonight doesn't kill Antonio, because I don't know how you two are going to be able to live with that. I just hope that you haven't put a curse on your love. I think it just annoyed me, because I see fully what you're talking about with Eve and like in your defense of Eve. I think just her coming in so hot really annoyed me, considering like she really advocated for them to get together. And yes, Sheridan dropped the ball on giving him his medication, but like, I don't know. She has a leg to stand on, but at the same time, I'm just annoyed with her. She's
pouring that salt heavy. Like, she is pouring that salt heavy. And I don't agree with what she's saying in the sense of, girl, just go do what you're supposed to be doing. I understand that I did a sucky thing. Like, I definitely understand that. But for them, they just trying to make it so that everybody just pouring salt on this situation.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Everybody's pouring salt in the wound. Acacia, what were you going to say?
And I think Eva's just too close to it. Like, this is why your doctor should not be like your best friend. Like, she's just way too in it with everyone involved that she's like, well, I told you to give him this medicine. Like, you should have done it. Like, any other doctor who wasn't like directly tied to this would have maybe said like, oh, okay, well, they are supposed to take their medicine at this time. But like, I mean, she's just too close
like
to it.
It was like unprofessional of her.
Somebody else.
I agree. I think it's I think that's part of it too. It's like very unprofessional of her to be like, I can't believe the two of you were together. And I know that you love each other, but you should have been, giving him his medication. And like, she's involved in the personal aspects of it as well. And she was at their wedding.
They called her personal phone that night to get her to come.
Right.
All of them is called Eve.
Yeah. Right. They didn't page her. The hospital didn't page her. They called her house.
Yeah. So all of it is too personal. And so I think like, I would say, I actually would give Eve a pass on this one. I just don't understand this medicine regimen. Like, I don't understand why all of a sudden he is that much worse. How long has he been taking these pills? Like, for this to be the regimen, like if it's been like 3 weeks and what does it do to him that if he don't get it after 30 minutes, he passes out in whatever coma he's having? Like, what is these pills doing?
Like, if you don't get this pill in 30 minutes, you're going to die. Like, yeah. Like
they need to have explained that.
What are these meds? It like, because she wasn't gone that long. That's the thing. Sheridan wasn't gone that long. She wasn't. So I guess she was gone at least. They're telling us she was gone at least 30 minutes, but I don't know.
Just to go get ice, and that is crazy too. Like,
yeah. So, anyway, Pilar and Miguel frantically rush in to find Antonio.
I love this.
And me too. I'm sorry, I have to sneeze. Excuse me. Pilar and Miguel frantically rush in to see Antonio. And Sheridan very annoyingly says, like, the first thing out of her mouth, like, is, I'm sorry, this is all my fault. And Pilar's like, your fault? What's going on? Like, what did you do to my son?
Right.
And Louise says, no, nothing. Sheridan's just feeling guilty and blaming herself, and she shouldn't. And then he says, and I'm kind of upset with the way that Eve treated her earlier. Both of us, really. And Pilar says, I don't understand. Why would Eve be hard on you? What happened to Antonio? What did you do? Did something happen? Is that why he's in the hospital? What have you done to my son? Louise explains what happened with the medication. Pilar is furious. Pilar is furious at Sheridan. She turns to Sheridan and goes, it's your fault my son will die. You have killed my son.
Yep.
And then she immediately apologizes. But I loved how hot she was, like, in that moment. She
only apologized because Louise said, Mama, you're not blaming Sheridan for Antonio's condition. She's like, I guess I'm not.
Yeah, that's true. He speaks up, and then Pilar apologizes. But privately, Sheridan and Louise, they go off, and Sheridan tells Louise that no matter what his mother says, if Antonio dies, Sheridan knows that Pilar's going to blame her for it. And so Sheridan says, we can't be together. If Antonio dies, your family is never going to approve of you marrying a woman that killed your brother. And Louise comforts her in this moment when his brother's like at death's door, right? Like, he comforts her and tells her, and like, it was her fault, right? Like, it kind of was her fault. And it's kind of Louise's fault, but he didn't know anything about the pills and that she was supposed to be going back to give him the pills or anything. So, he comforts her, tells her, I don't care what they think. You are not to blame for Antonio's illness. Even if he dies, you and I are still going to be together. Don't worry. Don't blame yourself, because this is not your fault. If it comes down to choosing between you and my family, I'm going to choose you. I love you. You're the only woman I love. That wasn't even on the table. That wasn't even on the table. Why would you even bring that up?
I thought that was horrible.
Talking about if it comes down to me choosing my family over you.
Well, I guess it came because she was like, they'll never let us, or they'll never be happy, or, they'll never let it happen because Sheridan's the reason that Antonio's dead. So maybe that's why he put it on the table. But it's still...
Yes, but I don't know why he wouldn't have just said, that's not how my family operates. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, just to because
they wanted
to so easily tell her I would choose you over my family. To me, especially with everything we know about Luis and how much he loves his family and how important his family is to him, it just feels like he said that. I guess it's such a heavy thing, but he said it very easily, and I don't think that would be an easy thing for him.
I think they.
I'm desperate for her.
What'd you say, Acacia?
I feel like he's just so desperate for her, like, to be with her at this point. Like, he didn't try to stop her wedding, all this. Like, so, like, he's like, I don't even care. Like, if my family didn't approve, like, whatever.
Girl, it is what it is. Let it get this far. But why would you even let it get this far if you felt that way? Like, if you felt that strongly, dog, I would have just told my brother, I don't care about your feelings about it. And if you don't want to be with me after this, oh, well. But this is crazy. I can't live with it. But I will say, I feel like the writers changed everybody's personality this week. like Luis saying that, I was like, whoa, everybody's different. So they done made Beth go all the way off the handle. Luis is all the way off the handle, and we'll get to the other people that goes all the way off the handle.
Actually, that's true. I feel like they've I don't know if they changed them, but they've kind of like turned them up to 11, right? Like they're not always at the level that they're at, and they're like showing so much more of them this week. That it does feel jarring, because that did feel like a weird moment to me coming from Luis of all people, to be like very quickly go to, if it comes down to it, I'll choose you over my family.
And was Beth there listening at that moment? Because that should have been her. That should have been the tail end of the conversation. That should have been the end for her. Like, she should have. I'm done.
But see, that's the thing. Beth heard everything. She makes that very clear, and I think that was one of the things I really liked this week, is that Beth, which we're about to watch, but Beth has like a confrontation with Sheridan, and Beth makes clear to Sheridan, I heard everything, I know everything, right? And I don't know, I can really appreciate that, and I appreciate everything that Beth said, to be honest. Maybe I'll feel differently, maybe y'all can talk me down, but Beth and Edna are watching all of this. Edna is obviously is the little devil on this girl's shoulder, whispering her ear, you will never come between them, so give it up. And Beth says she's gonna have a little chat with Sheridan, and she says after that, she and Luis will never be together again. So I have this clip. It is called "It Is Your Fault, Sheridan," and I just, oh gosh,
Sheridan,
because it is her fault, kinda. Like, it is.
Not kind of all the way, but like even in this moment, they made Beth look bad in front. Like, usually she's real nice with them. They made her look mean in front of Sheridan. Like, usually she would have been like, "Oh, it's not that bad," da 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 da, But now, even in public, Beth is like, "You're wrong. You're horrible. This is all, whatever."
I think that's what I really liked about it, is that she really was giving Sheridan a piece of her mind, and she wasn't, the thing she was saying, she was not wrong about. She wasn't. Like, let's watch it. I think this clip is kind of long. This clip is 5 minutes long, so we might stop and start, but yeah, we will stop and start so we can talk about it, dissect it. So here we go.
Sheridan, hey, I'm sorry. I couldn't help but overhear what you were saying.
I just feel awful, Beth. I blame myself. It's my fault that Antonio's lying in there.
Yeah, well, it is your fault, Sheridan. No matter what Luis says, I know that his family will blame you for Antonio's death. Forever.
It is your fault.
Look,
I'm shocked, like, you're not supposed to have said
I've
that.
been very supportive of you and Luis, done everything I could to keep you together. But this time you've gone too far. You married Antonio, and just when he needed you most, you let him down. You know, you say that Pilar was like a second mother to you, and I'll grant you that, okay? But while Pilar was taking care of you at the Crane Mansion, I was helping Luis change Paloma's diapers. The Lopez Fitzgeralds are like a second family to me, and I will not stand by and watch you tear apart the family that he loves. Because you will be responsible for killing his brother. Face it, Sheridan. You and Luis can never be together.
I mean, I just love this psychological game she's playing with Sheridan, right? Like, she knows exactly what she needs to say to Sheridan to get Sheridan to say, like, oh my God. Like, because Sheridan already feels this way, right? And all she has to do is reinforce these negative feelings. If anybody knows how to reinforce somebody else's negative feelings, it's Beth, because she learned it. She learned that from her mother. If anybody knows how to psychologically like destroy someone and find their weak spots and completely destroy them, it is Beth, because that's what she's been dealing with her entire life from her own mother. So she was groomed to do this. She was born to give this speech to Sheridan.
The only part I wish she would have left off was the end, like, you and Luis would never be together. Because I'm like, you're forgetting that, you ain't even bringing up the fact that that's supposed to be your husband, right? Like, you need to dig a little deeper into that. Like, that's, you did this, you did this, you did this. That's supposed to be my man. Like, we were supposed to be getting married, and y'all still talking about being together. Like, I don't understand that too. She should have brought that shit up. But that you and him would never be together, that's not for you to say, girl. That ain't for you to say. If she had ended it with something else, I would have been fine. I didn't like that she ended it with that.
I agree to an extent. Like, I wish that this conversation wasn't necessarily about her getting Luis back. I wish it was about her just like ruining Sheridan, right? Like, I want this to be just part of her. Like, I hate you, Sheridan, and you need to hear me be mean. I just want to be mean to you. I wish this was just Beth being mean to Sheridan because she wants to be mean to Sheridan because Sheridan has frankly been awful to Beth. But this is about her wanting to be with Luis, and she shouldn't want to be with Luis anymore. So
and that's why I said, like, I wish she would have left that other part. Like, you'll never be with him apart. Apart alone. Because if I'm Sheridan, I'm like, bitch, I'm gonna get him right now. Fuck you.
Yeah. Well, at the end of this clip. Yeah. So, all right.
Can't believe you forgot to give Antonio his medication.
I know. All right, I can't believe it either. It's just that Luis and I
don't care what you and Luis were doing. What you did was unforgivable. Do you realize that your husband is lying in there half dead because of you?
Yes, I know that.
And I don't care if you think that you married the wrong man. The point is, you did marry Antonio, and Antonio should have been your first priority. You shouldn't have been out in the hallway with Luis.
I know. It just was such a shock. Luis was there in the same hotel as us.
So you were shocked. Did you really have to spend all that time out in the hall, completely forgetting about your very ill husband?
Look, Beth, if you're trying to make me feel bad, you don't have to, all right? I feel terrible as it is. I can't stand that I've hurt Pilar.
Well, if I'm Beth, I would say you don't feel bad enough.
And it's like, I feel bad that I hurt Pilar. What about Antonio's about to die?
Yeah. And also, bitch, you should feel bad you hurt me. Hello.
That's what I'm not getting. She's acting like that. Like, anyway, look, I'm like, Beth, why are you acting like it doesn't bother you? Like, that's the weird part. Because I'm like, now I just feel like you're just being mean. But I'm like, yeah, and don't forget, you were with my man tonight, like, while you were out in the hallway with my boo.
Yeah, I did. And by the way, Sheridan, I saw you sleeping with my fiance the night before our wedding. So forgive me if I am coming in a little hot with you, but
I don't know if you would have told that.
Straw. This is the last straw, babe. Oh gosh. Okay. Edna in the background.
I don't care if you feel like you married the wrong man. I don't care that you, girl.
She don't care.
You have a right to feel terrible. And Pilar was right to blame you for Antonio being close to death.
Oh my God.
Because it'll be your fault if he dies. And everyone will blame you. Because you killed your husband.
No business.
You horrible bitch.
You taught her to be this
You're
way.
my daughter, but you are the spawn of the devil.
You, the devil.
I have watched you in shame. Shame doing everything you could to come between Louise and Sheridan, but this is the most despicable thing you have ever done.
I don't think this is the most despicable thing she's done. She drugged Louise.
She didn't see that.
She did know that.
No, she didn't see it.
She didn't see what?
She didn't see her drug Louise.
Yes, she did. She was standing right there when she did it twice.
When? I thought that she drugged him at his house.
She that's the third time, but she drugged him the first time at her house. She took her mom's pills and made a Boilermaker or whatever and put pills in it, gave it to him, and then she got on top of him while he was like knocked out and like kind of pantomimed them having sex so that Sheridan would see it. I think that's the most despicable thing she's done. Yeah, I think that might be the most despicable thing she's done. So, yeah.
All you angels and saints that my crazy mother's always praying to, hear this. Sheridan will never take Luis away from me again. He belongs to me, and I will have him, no matter what I have to do. Look at them, desperately praying for poor Antonio.
Yes, I know.
I heard you and Luis talking a while ago, and I heard Luis say that he'd leave his family if they blamed you for Antonio's death. Would you let him do that, knowing how close he is to his family?
I would never want him to leave them.
But would you stop him if he tried? I don't care if he says that you're the love of his life. Do you think that he'd ever forgive you if he divorced himself from his family?
I don't know.
Well, I can tell you, he wouldn't. I've been totally supportive of you and Luis. But enough is enough.
Oh, you lying hypocrite.
He might try to forgive you in the beginning, but it would eat away at him, and eventually he'd stop loving you because he's going to want to blame someone for Antonio's death. And that person would be you.
I don't care. Sheridan deserved it.
Sheridan.
Please.
Sheridan, I don't care. Sheridan deserved that. She deserves worse, to be honest, but she deserved Beth deserved to be able to give Sheridan a piece of her mind for once. She did. She should be giving Louise a piece of her mind. She should, but
see, I guess I just don't have, like I said, I'm still in the 500s. I don't have the history with Beth that, like, I don't know all of the stuff that happened from 500s to now with Beth and Sheridan for me to be like, oh yeah, no, like she should totally be, like, to me, I was like, that is so mean. Like, why are you, like, because Sheridan should have just, to me, bucked up and been like, no, like, actually he loves me. That's why we're, like I would think that that's what, Sheridan would have done, or, I mean, I don't think she would have done it.
Well, they've made her so pathetic. They've made Sheridan very pathetic.
Imagine Pilar walk out while she's doing that, though. That sounds crazy. Like, while my son in here, out there, you're talking about being with my other son, you look crazy. So she couldn't do that right then. That's like a bad look right there.
Yeah, that's true. So I hear what you're saying, Acacia, about like you're behind us right now, so it's like you don't have the same connection to this storyline that we do. So I'm just gonna give you my own personal opinion on like what has happened and what it is that makes me feel like Beth deserves this moment, to have this moment with Sheridan. Sheridan has been sleeping with Louise even though Luis has been engaged to Beth, right? I guess it was like just a couple of weeks ago. She goes to Luis's house the night before they're all supposed to be getting married, right? She just gets in the shower with him. They have sex. They then decide that they're going to elope together. Beth saw them in bed together. Now, frankly, of course, I believe that Beth should have just ended things then and there, but she didn't. And Sheridan has no clue that Beth knows about any of that. Sheridan was sleeping with her man the night before her wedding. And
okay, so yeah.
Yeah. And then Sheridan, she heard the conversation where Sheridan told Luis, we should elope tonight. I know Beth will be upset, but she'll be fine. Like, Beth's so great, she'll be fine. And basically was like, no, we can go to them tomorrow on their wedding day. Go to Beth and Antonio and tell them that we've gotten married. So Beth got all of that information quite literally 24 hours ago. And then she went to the wedding and she was supposed to get married. And because it didn't work out, because she made sure it didn't work out, made sure their elopement didn't work out. Because if you're not going to be honest with me, I don't owe you honesty, right? Like, they're not being honest with her. They're not being honest with her. If Luis had been honest with Beth, which, again, he did try to. I'm going to have to give him that. He did at least call her that night after having sex with Sheridan and agreeing to elope with her. He did try to call her, but she didn't answer the phone, which I wouldn't answer the phone either.
But you also went down the altar, too. Like, even though you didn't tell her what was going on, you also didn't go down. You went to the altar with her. So you still weren't going to tell her.
Exactly. He wasn't going to tell her. He wasn't. Thank you, Fantasia, for bringing. That's such an excellent point. He wasn't going to tell her. Sheridan wasn't going to tell her. They were just going to go through with this whole farce, this whole charade. And Sheridan has been doing some really fucked up shit. And I'm sick and tired. Now I'm talking through Beth's voice. I'm sick and tired of everybody acting like she's so fucking good and she's so great and she's so beautiful. You're perfect. You're beautiful. You look like Linda Evangelista. I'm sick of it. No, I'm sick of it.
And that's probably what she meant, that they treat her like trash, because she is the afterthought. What about Antonio? What about Beth? Oh, well, she'll be fine.
Exactly. They do treat her like trash.
Yeah, so now I can see it. Now I got it.
And it is complex. To me, it is somewhat complex. It could be simple if everybody's being honest, but everybody's not being honest. But
Beth is actually being honest about her feelings. She's like, I'm willing to be, your second best. Just love me, damn it. Like,
been pretty honest. She's been very honest with Luis beyond the fact that she was. She's been also deceiving him because she's acting like she's okay with everything with Sheridan, right? Like, she's acting like she wants them to, that she was rooting for them, even though she wasn't. You know what I mean? But that's not that big of a deal, I don't think.
That's weird, though. Even that's weird.
It is weird, but I don't see it as like that big of a deal as far as like the deceptions go. Of course, we know that Beth is in the middle of like a nervous breakdown. Like, she's about to like lose her fucking shit completely. I mean, she, like you said, she's still walking around with that damn knife like somewhere, right? Like, she's not okay. But in this moment, I loved that good, nasty, mean girl like read that she gave Sheridan, and just like she was not wrong. She didn't say anything all that wrong, in my opinion. Like, Sheridan did. She didn't give him his medicine. She was outside with Luis. She is like, Luis is willing to like leave his family for her, and she seems to be willing to let him do that, right? Like, yeah.
I wish she would have came at it in a different angle when she was talking about the leaving the family for like him. Like, are you just gonna let him? Like, I wish she would have did it a little bit different, like angry. But I like to think, while Pilar was out there helping you, I was helping change Pampers, baby.
Hello.
You don't even know nothing about that. that you ain't even trying to help with nothing. And what you do know about this as we're grown. So no, you don't have his best interest at heart. I got his best interest at heart. You need to leave that man alone.
I think the reason they had her approach Sheridan about the family situation the way she did is because Beth knows what is going to be the most, like, what's going to be the most impactful way to go after Sheridan in that moment. And I think she chose in that moment to use more of a making her feel guilty tactic, because what she doesn't want is for Sheridan to get mad. She just wants Sheridan to feel bad. Right? She just wants Sheridan to feel guilty and bad. So she has to walk kind of a line of like having somewhat of a moral isn't the right word, but I'm going to use it. Moral superiority over her a little bit to where she's not going like for the jugular. Like she's not trying to like kill her right there, but like make her feel like she's a evil person, but she's trying to make her feel very guilty. Because she knows Sheridan's guilt is going to eat her alive. It's going to eat her alive. I think Beth knows the most impactful way to get under Sheridan's skin. And I think Sheridan still has to believe that Beth on some level is like good, right? She has to, for it to work, Sheridan still has to believe that Beth is like, doesn't have a mean bone in her body, and that she's just at her tipping point. And like, this is, if Beth is saying all of this, then it must be really bad. I have done something really, really bad, because Beth isn't like this. Beth is a good person. She doesn't have a mean bone in her body. I think Beth, that's why Beth wasn't quite as hot as she maybe should have been.
Well, Sheridan's reaction didn't give that. Like, honestly, if that was the feeling, her reaction is like, okay, Beth, I know these things. Like, you don't have to keep talking to me about it. Right? So it's still like, even if, yeah, but I'd be like, girl, let me go in here with my husband. How about that? Leave me alone.
She was very obviously agitated. And it's one of those things where somebody will say something to you and it doesn't ring that bad, or you think about it. You think about it over and over and over again. Like, I don't know about you, Fantasia, but has anybody ever said something to you, or even you said something that you like ruminate on, and it just gets worse and worse and worse as you think about it, right? And then you're like, I should have said this, right? Like you think of. I think that's what she's doing. She's planting the seeds. They're big seeds too, but she's planting the seeds in Sheridan, those seeds of guilt, those seeds of doubt, those seeds of like self-loathing that already live in Sheridan, right? Like she's really just watering them. The seeds were there. So, yeah. But like, of course, if it's one of us, we would be like, girl, shut up.
Girl. Sheridan, a good one, because I sure would have just walked off on her. Like, girl, why are you even talking to me? Let me go check on my man. Like, let me go check on our men.
Let me go check on our man. So yeah, I love that. It is your fault, Sheridan. And you know who else did that this week? Kay. Kay says to Charity, it is your fault, Charity.
Oh, I love that.
I love it. This is when Eve comes out. So we saw Louise came out, is like comforting Sheridan, whatever. She doesn't tell him about the conversation she just had with Beth. And Eve comes out, Miguel and Pilar or whatever, and Eve's like, I've got some news. You guys are going to have to be making some decisions. You have some decisions to make. Now, they don't have decisions to make. Sheridan has a decision to make, right? We haven't gotten there yet, but that's obviously where we're headed. Like, Sheridan's going to have to make a choice about Antonio. But before Eve can tell them exactly what she wanted to tell them, Antonio codes. They call code blue. Eve gets the crash cart, does the paddles, clear, and that's where we ended with them.
Just let that man die, Lord. Just let him die. Why y'all letting him suffer like this? That is just cruel, if you ask me. Like, girl, you gotta he gotta take this pill every day. Every day. Y'all gotta buy.
I don't know. This whole
And he can't take
storyline.
it by himself. So he always, God forbid something happens to Sheridan.
If
Because
Pilar cared enough, she'll sit her ass next to her son and give him that pill. Because now Sheridan can't be trusted. Like, that's how I feel about it. You
True.
can't be trusted.
That's absolutely true. I would be like, what time does he take his pills? I'll be there, like, on the dot whenever he takes his pills. I don't know.
now he's married to Sheridan Crane. Like, why doesn't she hire like a home health aide or something for him? Like, he needs a full-time nurse, it sounds like.
He does. He needs full-time care.
Because Sheridan is his wife, and she loves him, and she will follow him around. She ain't got nothing else to do. So that's what he said. So he probably don't want no nurse.
He wouldn't want a nurse. He wouldn't. He would be like, what? I wouldn't. Sheridan should be here with me. Why? Where's Sheridan? Sheridan. Like, yeah. A nurse would quit in one day because she would be like, he will not take his pills. He refuses to listen to me about anything. He just keeps saying Sheridan over and over again. And I'm like, they'll be like, no, this isn't the job for me. Like, he's not gonna die on my watch. He refuses to take his pills. So that's all I have for Shawise this week. Do y'all have anything to add before we go to Eve and TC? No,
I'm glad I'm here. When I'm here, my boo is getting all her little energies out. Like, I'm glad I came on this week because I came in on certain parts of Beth and I still love her, but I don't know if I would have necessarily rocked with her on this one. Like, she was acting real crazy.
Honestly,
but I still love her.
I think if you had watched from earlier on, you would not be rocking with Beth the way that you rock with Beth. Like, I don't know.
Well, the like I said, I think I came in first. She wasn't even a factor. Like, the first parts that I were watching, she probably wasn't important. But when I came in again, it was a triple wedding happening at some point, right?
I don't remember.
No. It was a double wedding. They just advertised it that all the Lopez Fitzgerald's brothers were getting married.
Yeah.
So I came in around that time. And so, yes, that was Sheridan, Beth's man. And I see Sheridan making weird choices. And I'm like, who the hell is this? This is weird. Like, why would she do that? And then I left again. Then when I came back, everybody was pregnant. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's it for Shawise. It's honestly, it was a good week for them. This storyline bores me to tears sometimes. I mean, y'all have heard me say it over weeks upon every other week, just like, ugh, I guess we have to talk about these people now, But actually, Beth really has infused so much into this week. She's the MVP of this storyline, for sure, for me. The top for me in this storyline. Even if you don't agree with what she's doing or what she said, she at least brought something interesting.
And she was interesting.
Yeah.
And I just like her as an actress. I think that she's a good actress. I think she's so pretty.
She is. She's a beauty queen. She's a literal beauty queen. She won like Miss USA 98 or 93 or some shit. I don't know. I would say 96, but I know it's not 96 because that's Kenya Moore's year. Like the only thing I know. But all right, let's get into half of our troubled marriages. We're going to talk about Eve and TC here, and then in part 2 we'll talk about what's going on with Sam and Grace, because all of their stuff is really wrapped up with Kay and her pregnancy. So let's talk about what's going on with Eve and TC. Eve and TC are what is happening at the beginning of this? Why is everybody dressed up? Oh, because it was the wedding reception. Yes. It's been so long. We've been doing this for so long. So
long tail days.
Eve and TC are planning a romantic evening alone at their house because their children are out of the house. But Liz, of course, has other plans for them. When she finds out that they're like gonna be trying to have a little romantic thing, she makes a beeline. Let's talk. Actually, I want to talk about the logistics of this. This is gonna become important in the
Chad and Whitney
part 2. Chad and Whitney, but Liz was with the kids, Chad, Whitney, and Simone, at the Bennett home, because Chad, Whitney, and Jessica, or Chad and Whitney were dropping off Jessica at the Bennett home, and Liz was with them. So they drop her off, and then there's a lot of chaos in the house and everything. Whitney gets a phone call from her mother saying, you and Simone can stay out late tonight. And so she hangs up. She tells Chad, like, yeah, Mom said we can stay out late tonight, even though there's a fucking blizzard. Mom said we can stay out late tonight. And she says, I think her and Daddy are going to be having like a nice romantic night or whatever. Liz hears this and is like, I think I'll just walk over to y'all's home. I'll just walk back to y'all's house because they all live like on the same block. Okay, so just keep that in mind for part 2. That's not coming up right now, but they all live on the same block. So Liz walks over in the snow and she sees through the window. And I can't remember who said it, but we were on a watch party and somebody was like, these people need curtains. Like everybody in this town needs curtains because their windows, like everybody can just see into your home. So Liz is watching through the window as TC and Eve start to get a little close, start to do a little kissy, you know, just a little foreplay. Fine. She has a fantasy wherein she becomes Eve, basically. So I have that clip. We're going to watch it because I love some of these fantasies. Are so funny to me. And this one was hilarious. This one was hilarious to me.
Damn, baby.
Ew.
Your sugar is giving me a sweet
I know,
tooth.
so gross.
Girl, because he don't even talk like that.
Sweetheart, I want to thank you for saving me from Eve. I don't know where I would be if you hadn't come along and shown me what a low-life lying slut that she was.
He talk like that, though.
Damn her to try to use me and my daughter so she could look decent and respectable. She's nothing but a lying bitch.
Jesus.
And I'm so glad that my girls are away from her bad influence. And honey, I want to spend the rest of my life showing you how much I love you for what you've done for me.
Like she has Eve's hairstyle.
There is no time like the present.
She's losing it.
Like, is she in love with him for real? That's crazy.
Yeah.
TC, please let me in. It's so cold.
It's too bad, Evil. You got what you deserve for living a lie all these years.
I would have told you, but I thought you wouldn't forgive me.
You're right. Now get off of my property before I have Sam arrest you for trespassing.
TC, please, I did it. Help me, I did it.
TC, I am so sorry that Eve keeps bothering you.
Oh, baby, she's not bothering me.
No.
Not when I have you to love.
And there go the curtain.
Liz got curtains in her fantasy, but they ain't got none in real life.
Oh,
It's that weird music.
Oh yeah, oh that music is like almost like a silent movie, tremolo.
I'm sorry. Did I interrupt?
Girl, the bust in through the door.
Like she was wearing, like you see what Eve is wearing? She was wearing Eve's dress, had Eve's hairstyle. Like Liz wants to become Eve. Like she has a lot to unpack. Like if I'm having that fantasy, I feel like I would have to check myself. Like, wait a minute, why am I not me in my own fantasy? You know what I mean? Why am I wearing Eve's clothes?
Because she wants Eve's life.
She wants to skin her sister and wear her skin. Yeah. She wants Eve's life. Yeah. So yeah, Liz bursts in to interrupts them saying that, oh, I just ran out of milk for my coffee. Can you spare some milk? And, TC is like, oh yeah, honey, can you go get some milk for Liz? And he offers Liz a drink. And while Eve is gone, which I don't know how long it takes one to get a cup of milk, but while
it's just as long as it takes to get some ice. Like
this is, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it'll take like a half an hour to get milk. Liz and TC like have a conversation where and like Liz is flirting with TC. TC is never flirting with Liz ever. He's just very oblivious when it comes to her, it seems. And so she's flirting with him, and she's like, thank you for dancing with me tonight at the party. And he's like, yeah, well, you know, most women complain that I have 2 left feet. My wife always complains that I have 2 left feet. And she's like, no, you just need the right partner. That's the problem. Most women probably try to lead you around by your nose, but I'll let you lead. And so then they dance to no music. Weird. It was weird, strange. Eve comes back in, sees them dancing, and is like, they stop. She's like, what the hell's going on here? They stop. She steps aside. Eve walks over with that little container of milk and was like, oops. Like, just pours it onto Liz. It's like, oh, sorry, Liz, I must have tripped. Oh, well, enjoy your milk. Like, me and my husband are about to go upstairs and have hot sex all night long. So, Liz leaves, but not really, because Eve and TC go upstairs. They start to kind of, you know, get undressed. They're getting the bed ready, you know, pouring a drink for each other, whatever. And TC goes to the bathroom. Eve notices Liz lurking outside of their bedroom door. And so she goes out there and she's like, what the hell are you doing? I hope I have it in the clip, because I have a clip for this. But Eve, the way Eve confronts Liz, I loved it. It was perfect. It was like, she's like, this is my house. This is my bedroom. This is that is my husband. Making it very clear. It's like, this is my life. You can't have it. And so, yeah, Eve confronts Liz. So let's see this clip. Eve confronts Liz.
That is my husband. This is my bedroom. This is my house. And you are, in fact, not welcome anywhere, so just get down to that garage apartment and stay there.
Okay, sis, I'll leave. But you know what? Don't get too used to this. I'm sure you noticed how close TC and I are getting.
Oh, please.
See, I know what he wants, and I know how he wants it. So I have a little advice for you. Enjoy the little time you have left with TC. Because pretty soon, your husband will be my husband.
Go to hell.
Oh, big mistake.
I think I have another clip. Let me double check. I think I didn't put the whole thing in here. But because she says big mistake, and I thought I had the other portion of this, but I don't think I do. No, I don't. That's okay. Big mistake. Huge. I liked that. I like the physicality of her going into the door and like stopping the door. And then Eve's like, I don't know who the fuck you think you are. And she like pushes her out of the room. But I do have the dialogue here. So Eve tells Liz to get out of her, get out of here, get it out of her head that she's going to steal TC from her, because she says TC loves me. And Liz counters with, you're going to lose TC because your career is more important to you than he is. That man is starved for love and attention, and I'm going to see that he gets it. Eve says, it's never going to happen, Liz, because if there's one thing that I do know, it's how to make love to my husband. So he's not going to go any place looking for that, especially not you. Oh, I know this one, girl. She said, my man's happy right where the fuck he is. He's not going anywhere. If there's one thing I know, is how to put it on him. Huh?
Girl, she said she is confident in that WAP.
And then she says, Liz says, well, you're mighty sure of yourself, aren't you? And Eve says, sure of TC's love for me? Yeah. So why don't you just go back to your bed and lie down and think about this? While you're there sleeping all alone, I'll be in here with TC making love for hours. There's no way you're getting anywhere near him. Oh, yeah. I wish I had clipped that. I don't know what happened. I thought I did. Because it was so good. Like, I was like, yes. I wish Eve because I honestly don't remember how all the stuff comes out about like Eve and Julian. Obviously, the stuff that Liz is like blackmailing her with. But I do wish that Eve had done it all herself. Like said, you know what, Liz? I'm going to just come clean to my husband. And then Liz wouldn't have anything to hold over her. You know what I mean? And yeah, I don't know. Because I love this strong, powerful Eve. But Liz does have the ammunition to like destroy her. She does. And so Eve does need to really walk a fine line with Liz. But Liz can't blow it all up. Honestly, she can't really blow it all up right now because TC's not interested in her at all. And if she blows up that secret, he'll be like, well, you're a fucking lying slut too. Like,
that's what I was thinking.
Like, you lie just like your sister and you've been coming on to me. So yeah.
Now I got stuff to say.
What? Say it. That's what this is for.
I'm like, okay, let's start back to go get this bitch some milk. And you walk back in and your man is dancing with another woman and you say nothing. I don't understand that. Like, why are you touching my man? Like, even if, like, that's weird. Like, and you gave her liquor. So what you don't know. You said TC not flirting with her, but girl, I don't know. It's not like they're not playing it like he is. But what you're saying to me is flirtatious, right? Like, you're handing me liquor and then we're talking about my left feet and then you're dancing with her. Like, that's flirtatious. Like, any other dude would be like, oh, what you going to get your milk? I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night.
I wrote it down that he's just stupid.
Yeah.
Like, I think that TC is just like oblivious that anyone would like.
Why would anybody
flirt with
want
him as a married man?
Yeah. Exactly. I think
and her sister too. Like, well, why would she do that?
He also has such a stiff, firm morality about him, right? Like I think just like piggybacking on your point, Acacia, like the whole point, the portion of him being like, yeah, I'm a married man, no self-respecting, no nice, good woman would ever flirt with me, so Liz wouldn't, and I believe Liz to be a good person, so she's not flirting with me. And I think he's stupid. I think that I also feel like they're simply writing it to where he's oblivious. And I think the reason they're writing it that way is because to show us, the audience, like, yeah, no, Liz is delusional. Eve is right. Her husband loves her and has only eyes for her. He spent the entire show just lauding her and singing her praises, talking about how perfect she is, right? He's not going to throw that all away for this strange woman who just like came into town, I don't think. You know what I mean? Also, he's got a gravy train, right?
The things he do is so inappropriate though. Like, regardless of what your moral whatever, like, it's been multiple times where like Eve has walked into the room and like she was dressed weird and y'all drinking and y'all spending too much time together. I've already addressed the fact that I don't like it, and you moved some random chick in the house, dog. Like, I don't get that. And you're firmly incorporating her into our life. I think she was sister wife. You were sister wife to me.
I don't disagree. I honestly, truthfully, I don't disagree with you, like your analysis of this situation. I really don't. Again, from our perspective as viewers, it looks crazy. I think though, from the show like perspective, they have decided that TC sees Liz basically the same way he sees Grace. So any kind of contact with her, he feels is like completely harmless, no matter how it looks, no matter how inappropriate it seems. He knows his heart. He knows that that's not what's happening, right? But I agree with you that it is inappropriate. I wholeheartedly agree that it's inappropriate. There's been a lot of inappropriate stuff that has happened between them, and not the least of which is the fact that he moved her into their house, right? Like, to let her just stay at their house indefinitely. So where their children sleep.
Girl, she walk in the room and she dancing with her man. Both of them would have been wearing that milk.
But after this confrontation, Liz finally leaves angrily, and TC comes out, asks Eve who she was talking to. She's like, "Oh, I wasn't talking to anybody. I was just talking to myself." I don't know why she lied. Like, she was like, "Oh, Liz was up here. She wanted something else, but she's gone now." Like, I don't know why she lied. She then tells him, like, "We have all night long. We're gonna spend some real quality time together because I had Dr. Jacobs take my on-call shift, so you have my full attention tonight." She says, "We can spend some quality time. I want to spend some quality time with a man that I love. No phone calls, no interruptions, and I'm gonna take advantage of every second of that." And so they start to get, let's get it on. They start getting it on, right? It's getting hot and heavy. Fucking Sheridan calls. Oh, I'm not gonna hold you. It's not like I want to see love scenes between like TC and anybody, but I was frustrated for TC in this moment, and Eve. I was frustrated for both of them in this moment. TC gets upset. He's like, "Oh, you just told me that you didn't have to work tonight, and now you have to go." And she says, "I'll be back as soon as I can." And he says to her, "You're going to be back as soon as you can. That's another one of your promises, right?" Like, he gets upset. And like you said, Fantasia, I feel like this is a change in TC. Like you said, they just changed everybody's kind of characters this week. And maybe TC's been feeling these things, but with Liz in his ear kind of whispering these same kind of sentiments, it's coming up out of him. But we've never seen TC really be upset about Eve having to go do her job, ever. A lot of times he'll just be like, "I'll come with you, honey." This is a time when he would have, like, before.
Especially in the snowstorm.
Yep. Yep. Where he would have been like, "Well, I will come with you. I will take you to the hospital." But this time he's upset, and he's, "This is another one of your promises. Don't make me promises you can't keep, Eve. It's the same scenario over and over again. You're going to go to the hospital. You won't get home until tomorrow. And then you'll take a quick shower, and then you'll be back to the hospital again. We haven't had time together in months." And Eve is like, "Well, it isn't that bad, is it?" He's like, "Yes, it is." He's throwing a little fit. Meanwhile, people are dying. People are dying, Kim.
Yes, they were.
There are people who are dying, Kim. He says, "Yes, it is." And she says, "Well, I'm sorry, TC. I'm doing the best I can, honey. I'm trying to be a good doctor and a mother." He says, "Well, what about being a good wife, huh? When did that become the last priority on your list?"
Tell him about it.
And Eve says, "Well, I don't know how you can even say that to me. You know that being your wife is the most important thing in the world to me." Okay, fine. I'll let it slide. TC says, "I know you mean it, but I love you, and I love that you are so dedicated to your career. Do you? Because you seem to be upset at me for wanting to go save a life."
But that's because he was about to get it after months of not getting it, and you getting up in the middle.
That's true. You got it.
That's so, like, I even said, like, I would not leave my horny ass husband, like, right in the to go do this when there's another doctor on call. I don't have to go. So I see why TC was mad, because, like, I mean, even doctors have, like, priorities that have to, like, you have to have some boundaries in your job. Like, shit.
I agree. I would not have left, right? Yeah. Like, I've set up all of these things so I can have a night alone with my husband. Like, there's another doctor at the hospital who can handle this, right? So I agree. But Eve does not. She says,
random thought that just came up. How far do you think the cliff end is to Harmony?
I thought about that. That's not a random thought. That's not a random thought. I said, why the fuck are they driving all the way back to Harmony? I know they went out of town. Like, they drove to the Cliffside Inn.
And it's snowing outside. Eve still could have got her shit. Like, she still could have got her rocks.
I feel like
they met him at the hospital.
And I feel like they passed like 3 hospitals to get back to Harmony. You know what I mean?
That's because which Eve said, "Oh, she knows the case the best. Girl, just let that man die. Clearly, you don't know what you're doing for real.
So Eve basically tells him, I'm sorry, I understand, and I'm terribly sorry, but I have to go. Like, I swear I'll be back. I'll make things better. I love you and thank you for understanding, basically. She leaves. He's still upset. Liz, meanwhile, is in the garage of the apartment having a dream, a weird dream. In her dream, she sees Eve leaving her with some men or whatever. And she's saying, like, Eve, I need you, don't go. And then she sees Antonio standing there in a tux, and she has like an exchange with Antonio where she says, like, Antonio, don't go. And this pissed me off. Antonio is like, Liz, this isn't working. And she's like, what do you mean? I love you. And Antonio says, I don't think you do. Not completely anyway. There's always this wall, this distance between us. You just won't let me in. We all know that that is not true. They rewrote that. That is not true. He was basically a gigolo. He was leading her on. But that's whatever. I'm gonna chalk it up to this is in Liz's mind, even though that's also what they've written as the reason that she and Antonio broke up. Also, is it just me, or is it weird that she calls him Antonio? Shouldn't she be calling him Brian?
Well, he's Antonio now.
I don't know. I just think it's weird that she calls him Antonio. Like, she has only ever known him as Brian.
Well, they all know they're all made up names. Liz apparently is the only one with Liz as her real name on that island. Because remember, she said they didn't know each other's real names.
Well, Brian is his real name. It's just his middle name. But again, that's neither here nor there because she has only ever known him as Brian. So it's odd to me that in her dream, she's calling him Antonio, right? I don't know. It's a small thing, but it's something that kind of, I was like, I don't know. It made my little alarm bells go off. Anyway, Liz says, I'll try harder to let you in. I do love you, Antonio. And he says, but you always keep a little bit of yourself away from me. I just can't deal with that anymore. I'm sorry. I'm going to say something here, and I could be wrong, and maybe this is why I'm single. I think you should keep a little bit of yourself from people. I don't think you should give all of yourself to someone. Retain something. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Y'all can weigh in if you want. I feel like for me, I don't think it's weird to retain, something of yourself that you're keeping from your significant other. And maybe this is just something I need to unpack in therapy.
I think no one talks like that.
I guess it just depends what it is and how big it is, and is it like a major secret that you're keeping, or I don't know. I don't keep things for the most part. I don't keep things from my husband.
For the most part, but no. I wasn't thinking of it in the way of secrets that she was keeping back from him. He's saying that she won't share her whole self with him, I guess, in more of a figurative sense, I guess. And to me, I think there's part of me that I don't necessarily have to share with you. I don't know. Maybe that's wrong.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong, but it's nobody talks like that, and depending on how she was acting, they're trying to make it seem like she's just no, I don't want to go that far with you or something like that. Maybe because maybe it was first off, they don't know each other's real names. I first and foremost, I'm not letting that go. You don't know that man for you to act like you were so in love and y'all was gonna be together, especially when he was doing all that other stuff for other girls. What are we doing? Unless that was a part of the plan to make the money for the island, I don't know. But they're rewriting it from her perspective of maybe she knows she was withholding something that she felt like he wanted from her.
Okay.
Again, she still didn't know his real name, so it don't matter.
I'll take it. It's fine. At this point, she's having this dream. She wakes up because she hears Eve's car leaving. She hears it crank up and leave. And so she then pretends to be sleepwalking.
I love it.
She pretends to be sleepwalking so she can sexually assault TC. And that's exactly what she does. She goes upstairs and she kind of stands like she's in a trance. She knocks over something so that TC comes out of the room to see what it is. He's like, oh, Liz. And she doesn't respond to him. He picks the thing up off the floor and then he waves his hand in front of her face. He's like, huh, she's sleepwalking. And he then calls somebody to try to figure out what he should do about a sleepwalker. He tries to call Eve. He calls the hospital, and he can't get a hold of Eve. And this fucking nurse, or I don't know, maybe she was a doctor. I don't know who she was.
She a nurse.
But she tells him, she's like, Dr. Russell is with a patient right now. He might die. And he's like, well, TC's like, okay, well, maybe you can help me. What should I do about a sleepwalker? I've heard that you shouldn't wake them up. Is that true? And this lady goes, the best thing to do is just leave her alone. Let her enact whatever she's dreaming. It could be dangerous to stop her or to try to wake her up. I didn't even look this up because I know this is not necessarily true. Right? Like, I didn't have to look this up. It's saying let her enact whatever she's dreaming, that can be dangerous, right? Like, they are not in a state where they know where they are, what they're doing. She could be thinking that she's making a bowl of cereal and she's pouring out like rat poison into a bowl and eating it. You should stop her from fucking doing that. Right?
Maybe not her, just move the things around her. Lock her ass in the bathroom.
But you should stop. You should act on it.
I read that you should wake them up, but like guide them back to like their bed and wake them so they're not like disoriented. But it reminds me of this this documentary I watched a couple of years ago with this guy who like stabbed his girlfriend, like brutally killed her. And he said he was sleepwalking though, and there were all these forensic people who were like, no, like you would have woken up like
Pistorius or whatever, the South African runner, because that was like, wasn't that his story? That
was the same thing, but it wasn't that. It was like a college guy. I think it's on Hulu maybe or something. But he said he was sleepwalking too when he like killed his girlfriend.
How do you prove that?
But it was like a domestic dispute, you know.
Either way, you need to be, in my opinion, either way, you need to be locked up somewhere. Because if you can't control yourself,
they both went to jails.
And you're dreaming about killing people. You're a psycho.
If you're murdering people in your sleep, you should not be out about able to do that. Sorry, we got to lock you up somewhere. If it's not a prison, in a psych ward, you need to be locked up somewhere.
Right.
Because you are not safe. You are a danger. But anyway, Liz is pretending she's not sleepwalking. That's obvious to anybody who knows what's going on here. And it should be obvious to TC at a certain point, because she then, after he has that conversation with the nurse, she then like goes to him and like starts kissing him. She's like all over him. And he's trying to get away from her. He's like, this is crazy. Oh my God, this is crazy, but I can't wake her up. I have to let her enact. It's a bad porno.
He is kissing the hell out of Liz.
No, it's a bad porno. Like, oh, she's sleepwalking. I can't wake her up. I have to let her finish first. Like,
I bet you do want her to finish. Somebody finish you off tonight.
And so she's very passionately kissing him. He's kissing her back, frankly. He's pretending. He's like squirming, but they're kissing. He does manage to get away from her at one point, and she goes over to the door and locks it and takes the key, because for some reason they have old doors with skeleton keys, which, you know what? I was like, I'll allow it, because the house I grew up in, we had skeleton keys for our door. So I was like, you know what? Old houses used to if you still have like the original doors, they will have that. And so she takes the key and drops it into her bosom. Please, TC, this is obviously a ploy, right? Like, she's not sleepwalking. And
I thought she was doing way too much to be sleepwalking. Personally, I ain't never seen nobody sleepwalk, but
and honestly, how dangerous could it be to wake her up at this point, right? How horrible could it be that you just wake her up?
Now, what if she wakes up and you kissing her? Now, what happens if she wakes up and he's kissing her, and now she's saying you attacked her? You know, like, that's crazy.
That's kind of what he says at one point. Like, he's like, oh my gosh, and what if Liz wakes up, we're in a compromising position, and she thinks that I'm doing something to her, and this looks crazy. This is wrong, blah, 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 whatever. She puts the key in her bosom. She walks over to him and says, make love to me. Kisses him some more. Keeps on throwing herself at him.
He
doesn't know what to do. He's like throwing his hands up. And they're kind of, he's trying to avoid her going. It's like the Pepe Le Pew. You know how Pepe Le Pew like chased that cat around, and he would be like kissing it, and then it would like try to get away from him, but he would always find her or whatever. It's very much like that around that room. It's like a Pepe Le Pew. And Liz is the skunk, like cartoon.
He could have just went in the bathroom.
That's what I thought. I was like, why wouldn't he just go in the bathroom or put her in the bathroom and like?
I would lock her ass in the bathroom.
Lock her in there. Yeah, until she woke up. But I guess maybe he wants to make sure she doesn't do anything that hurts herself, or dangerous. I guess so. He wants to like monitor her. So they need to. I guess, but I would have just woken her up. And what Acacia said makes a lot of sense too. Like guide her back to the bed and wake her up, even if it's guiding her to their bed or Whitney's bed or whoever's, and letting her lay down and then saying, "Wake up, honey, get up." Flicking the lights, pour the water on her or something.
Not pour the water on her. Pour some more milk on her.
Here's some milk. Yeah. You want milk? I got milk.
But now he got to dig down in her shirt to get the key.
Yeah, he's like, I got to get the key. I have to unlock the door. I have to get the key. This is the point when the kids, Simone, Whitney, Chad, all come home. They have been in a car accident, which makes no sense. But they've been in a car accident. And they are like, well, we have to tell our parents about the car right now, which of course you do. Yeah, you need to tell them immediately. So that's where we kind of ended. They're headed up the stairs to let TC and what they think is Eve know about the car. And that's where I ended. You have anything to add? No?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
That's ridiculous.
That's it for this half of the episode. That's it for part 1. So everybody, thank you for sticking in here and hanging out. This has been so fun, honestly. And I can't wait to go on to part 2, but we're going to finish part 1 now. So, Acacia, thank you so much for being here. Where can the people find you?
I am Passions Obsessed 1 on TikTok.
I'll link that in the description. And Fantasia as well. Where can the people find you?
Probably like on Facebook, Fantasia Jones or Party Fair Productions, whichever.
And I'll put that in the description as well. And of course, you can find me patreon.com/passionspodcast. Sign up for whatever tier you find most agreeable. Join the Discord, but you have to join the Patreon to join the Discord. And yeah, if you want to get in touch with me, that's the best way to do it. And with that, you are my passion for life.